I'm just tired of the fucking box. Okay.
So we're out of the box with Tyler and Aaron. You just want to be out of the box. Yesterday, though, you were out of the closet. So we're now out of the box.
Out of the box, out of the closet.
It was crazy because that's, I think, what Tyler was in the closet for the birthday message.
Yeah, I filmed my message in my closet just for you.
Jermaine's the
That's awesome.
Right.
R. Kelly of disclosure.
Oh my God.
The R. Kelly of disclosure. Trapped in the closet.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord, trapped in the
You ever seen
closet.
that R. Kelly Real Talk video?
Nah.
Oh man, it's hilarious.
Oh yeah.
So this is how we're starting it today. We don't need theme music. The hell with all that. Women of the Stars meets Journey to the Truth. Tyler and Aaron, we're having a great time. We're about to show you guys, hey, our beautiful faces. This is the First Lady Erika and
Marvel Bliss.
woo!
Revan, or Jermaine.
And Dab is gonna think about it for a long time about what his name. So we'll come back to him. And because that's what we're doing today. We're just gonna be crazy. All right. Today we have Tyler and Aaron. I got a great chance to talk to Tyler a few times. That's even my son's name, so it's the most bestest name there is.
Nice.
Very nice. And Aaron, this is our first time hanging out. Jermaine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Oh wow.
We-
Your birthday message was so amazing. So we're letting Jermaine out of the closet. It's still kind of dark where he is, even though he's out of the closet. We're glad to have him here with us today.
Jermaine can never fully reveal himself on camera.
Yeah. His vibration is so high, he cannot be filmed.
I'm glowing.
Exactly.
I'm glowing, motherfucker. I'm glowing today.
He's in 5D
That's what it
already.
is.
But
I'm glowing.
bump. We don't have sound effects, but bump. That's what we're gonna do this whole time now. Just be smart asses. Okay. So anyway, man, it's cool to have you guys. You guys are like brothers. Like, do you feel like brothers? Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we've actually been told that we were brothers in the Orion Wars.
Yep.
Oh wow.
We've been told.
Fist bump.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
we were brothers in past
can't
lives.
verify that, but it definitely feels like there's a brotherly connection.
Yeah, that explains the connection for sure. It's definitely has that feel, so that makes a lot of sense. So
you guys went all the way out of town to like a convention or something, and then you met and found out you.
Yeah, we met at a conference in Colorado in 2018. It was called Dimensions of Disclosure. It was one that like Corey Good and his team had kind of put on. David Wilcock was there. Emery Smith at the time.
It was a different world back then, but that's
a lot of people.
That's where we met.
That's how we met. Yeah. And we realized we both lived in St. Louis and started hanging out. And
it's just like Compton, fool.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
You remember that song? St. Louis. Ooh.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay, Thug Life. You be listening to that kind of music. All right, got you. So then you guys went back to St. Louis.
Yeah.
And
Aaron lived in a different state.
I was living out of state at the time, but then I was back visiting and met up with.
We had lunch.
Tyler and his dad.
And his dad.
Yeah, his dad was with him at the conference. His dad's super awake.
Oh wow.
Dad's amazing. Yeah.
Right.
So were you raised woke or
no? Hell no.
No,
he's raised Catholic.
Son. I'm woke.
Yeah.
No, it was not. I mean, I was in a coma.
Oh wow.
Ooh.
No, I always believed in like ETs, UFOs, and Bigfoot and all stuff, but I never. Until my mom passed away when I was 24, 25. That's when everything happened for me. It was like a switch was flipped, and that's where everything started for me. But prior to that, no, I was not like we didn't grow up woke at all. We were.
Oh, okay.
We were eating.
But you know what? I think it's a lot easier transition for you because I'm like, what guy doesn't believe in Bigfoot? I'm like, if you don't believe in Bigfoot, you're a moron. I don't know.
Right. Exactly. Amen.
Yeah. Man. And everybody wants to be a Power Ranger. So I mean, it's a real easy transition, you know. So
that was my
I did used to want to do that.
Yeah, I was a Power Ranger. I didn't want to be. I was a Power Ranger. I was the Orange Ranger. I created the Orange Ranger, and that was me.
Whoa. Does somebody owe you a check? Dude, we need to get you paid.
My mom,
where's your record at? Yeah.
My mom would let me dress myself for school, and I would wear this like orange jumpsuit that I had.
That's amazing.
And in my head at recess, I was the Orange Ranger. And
is this an exclusive? Is this exclusive? Yeah. I can say first seen here, the Orange Power Ranger.
Right.
Yes.
Damn it, we're jacked in. I love it.
My animal that I morphed into was the tiger. So.
All right. Awesome. Right. So, Aaron, how did you grow up? Was it anything similar, different? Your family,
He was the Purple Ranger.
Purple Ranger.
Yeah, I was the Purple Ranger.
It's like the mystery flavor Nalade or something. Now later.
Yeah. Exactly. No, I grew up with the religious programming. So I grew up in a very Christian family. I grew up like going to like a Baptist church. So very heavily that programming, which was good for like, I feel like it gave me a spiritual foundation, but it also had all that dogma, you know, until I was 25. And when I called my awakening and I started just questioning everything and went down all the rabbit holes, and I found like David Icke. I got obsessed with him. I would watch every video on YouTube. I found like David Wilcock, Dolores Cannon, Project Camelot back then.
Wow, Project Camelot. How long has that been out, y'all?
2006 is when they started. They've been around long. That was back when it was Carrie, Cassie, and Bill Ryan at the time, and then Bill left, and now it's just Carrie.
Right.
When you said religious, I just have to ask because I just could just see you getting like, pull your pants down, get a spanking, like put your little hands out. Like,
not quite. Not quite that much, but
okay.
Just like I was forced to go to church every Sunday until it wasn't until I was maybe 12, 13 when I like really it went from like I was forced to go to church and had it to I became like, my own identity, where I got really involved in like the youth group, and stuff like that. But I went to public school and stuff. I wasn't like super in a bubble or anything, I had a lot of friends outside of that, but I was still very much, very Christian. And then finally,
but not a preacher's kid though, right?
No, my mom was growing up.
Was your mom pretty wild though? Like
not super, but she a little bit. Yeah. But
I tend to see that preacher's kids seem to be the ones with the cigarettes behind the church.
Yeah. They tend to be like the rebels, and
it's because you grow up feeling like you're forced into it, and if you don't squeeze into that mold, then you're not accepted. So you're in spite of that, you start rebelling. Yeah.
It's like you gotta double down because everybody's gonna make fun of you anyway because you're a preacher's kid. So you're like, nah. Yeah. I'm setting shit on fire. Yeah.
Right. Like, exactly.
I'm breaking stuff up. Yeah.
Exactly. But I had my awakening in 2012, and my parents, especially my mom at the time, was really worried about me because she thought I was just,
you lost your damn
going off the deep end and getting into satanic stuff, and oh my God.
Oh yeah.
At the time, but then she started seeing I was in a very good place, and like I would always tie things to the Bible and show her like, hey, look, the Bible talks about all this stuff. It's just, it's all in there, and now
I think we're all some really optimistic people who are,
Yeah.
It's funny. It's like we're little Satanists, right? Like we're not. Okay, we're not. But it's like people look at you like, oh, they're going to. We're like the happiest people on the planet.
Yeah.
Like,
like it's all taboo.
Yeah, and all that's just a program, and that's what my awakening was like. I saw the programs and the everything for what it was, and I like the box. I saw that like, oh, everyone's in their own little box that they're handed truths. They're handed like, oh, this is reality, don't question it, and until you go on your own journey to figure out what's true and what resonates with you and what reality is all about, you're just going to be essentially having someone else's belief adopted. That your
beliefs are handed to you.
Your beliefs are handed to you. Yeah. So but I wanted to know if aliens were real. I wanted to know.
There's no explanations. If you have a question that can't be answered, then it's like, no, just we don't talk about that because. Or I remember the church lady on Saturday Night Live who used to be like, could it be Satan?
I love church lady.
Yeah. Everything with Satan. It's like, it's Satan. That's the devil.
Yeah, exactly.
And it turns
everything
out
is Satan.
Turns out everything is Satan.
Everything is Satan.
UFOs and ETs are all demons. Yeah, like that's the whole.
When I was going to church, they used to tell me like everything. You're going to hell for, right? So you're feeling so stressed out. Like as a teenager, I was like, I gotta have a kid before I turn 20 because we all gonna die soon. Like you were like, okay, let me see. I gotta squeeze life in because you're feeling like you're gonna die, right? I remember one time I heard a big boom of thunder and I fucking flew out of the bed and jumped on the floor. I was like, oh shit, I don't worry about lightning anymore. It scared me so bad.
That's right. That's hilarious.
I say two, then you have sex and it's Jesus is in the bed, God's in the bed, your mama's in the bed, your grandmama's in the bed, everybody's in the bed.
Everybody's in the bed with you, yeah.
Everyone's in the bed. Like, oh Lord. Like
does that mean it? Yeah,
oh my God. So you were enjoying that freedom. Enjoy that freedom. And then you met this crazy guy and you're like,
I met this crazy guy. Yeah.
Like, hey, I need a spot to stay. Can I stay on your couch?
Yeah.
I was, we did have very different upbringings. I came from the atheist background. Well, I grew up
Catholic.
I grew up Catholic and Christian, both sides of the family.
Mm-hmm. And that's enough to turn you into an atheist. That is, yeah.
Well, it did. And it was,
but you saw it at a young age.
I saw it at a really young age. Yeah. But I didn't purposely like say I'm going to be an atheist. I actually went to Bible school at one point. And then I met some group of friends who were outside of that bubble. And I was like, I just vibed with them so much more. I was like, this feels so much better and it doesn't feel fake. Yeah. And it turned out like I ended up in this group of people who didn't believe in anything. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I don't either. Like I'm hanging out. I just want to fit in.
So believing in nothing is atheist, right? But then there's agnostic, where you believe there is a God, but I just don't know what to do with him or something, right?
Yeah, there's some kind of higher power intelligence, but you don't know.
I married an atheist because I was like, I don't know what's going on, but I believe in something. So I was agnostic and he was an atheist.
I was very much like science and evolution and all the mainstream shit that was handed to us, just because the Bible
is its own religion,
right? Exactly.
They don't view it that way.
And I would get in debates with people, religious people. Like I was like totally that guy. And then after, like I said, that lasted for so long until my mom passed away, and all of that was changed because that's when I started having experiences right after that, and those experiences forced me to acknowledge that there was something else going on that I couldn't explain. And it didn't take much. It didn't take much for me to switch that belief because I was never fully like I said, I was never fully atheist. I was just trying to fit in. Mm-hmm. So there's always that part of me that had that inner knowing. So when I started hearing this stuff, it immediately resonated. I'm like, no, I was wrong. I was so quick to admit that I was wrong. And I'm like, there is so much more than I ever even considered. But it was all being shown to me, and I was having experiences that I couldn't deny. And
you're having your own experience.
It was personal, and that's where it came from for me. It was no one it wasn't me going out and doing research. It was like,
it's happening to you.
This is happening. What can I do about it? Because it was negative at first, and I had to figure out how to stop it. And that's where I learned about all this stuff. And it was just snowball of synchronicities that led me to certain people, that led to my awakening, that just led to us doing this show. And here we are.
Larry was,
that's
that's a whole nother story.
Yeah. I guess I had this thing where I said, you know, I believe in God and I believe in science. So God must be a scientist.
There you go. Yeah.
And I feel like that's true. The ET races, they're tinkering and putting stuff together. Let's mix this with a flower and see what happens.
Right.
Smoke it.
All genetic experiments.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So, wow.
Elohim in the Bible means the shining ones.
Right.
Ones.
It's multiple things, not God, where it gets translated. You know, so
I like that because it says, "Let us make man in our own image." There was always questions that, it's like, well, who are we?
Yeah, this is plural. Yeah.
And who did those two guys marry if, all they had were brothers?
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It just, and we may never get those answers, but it's enough to know. It's enough to make you pause and be like, okay, well, what we were handed can't be true.
Exactly. Get you.
Yeah.
Start.
So, and I think that's the whole point of it. It's everyone's own individual journey, discovering what it is, what it means to be human, what it means to find your own purpose and your mission, and whatever that looks like is going to be different for everyone. And I don't think anyone's going to come forward right now with all the answers, because anytime throughout history, anytime we thought we had the answers, give it 2 years.
More answers.
Discover something else. I'm like, wow, we were way off, and that's going to keep happening until the end of time. I mean, I think.
And then all of a sudden, all the papers will be like, "Oh, wrong, goddamn it!" Like, even, I do find it weird to argue about things that you won't know until you die.
Right. Well, even what we think we know right now about space and the ETs and all that stuff, at the end of the day, we don't actually know any of that. We're just taking people's words for it.
Yeah.
Like that.
No one has it all figured out.
Bottom line, anyone who's giving galactic information right now it's unverifiable if you're going by like court of law evidence, right? So you just have to take their word for it. Some stuff resonates, it's inner knowing, and you can't just write it off.
Right. Just stick with what resonates,
At the same time, it's naive or it's irresponsible to just accept it all as truth. We have to question everyone and everything.
Yeah.
And some of it, I think, is a test, and some of that misinformation might be by design to get us to learn the lessons the hard way. So we grow. We're here in the physical bodies purely for our soul's evolution. And at the end of the day, that's all you take with you is your soul. And that's what Dunbar said.
So what's one of your scariest phenomenons? Like for me, spontaneous combustion was like, what the heck? Like, we need to pay attention to this. When I was little, I used to be so scared all the time.
You spontaneously combusted?
No, I saw that shit on TV. That shit freaked me out. I needed to know everything about spontaneous combustion so it didn't happen to me. I was
I could just
I'd watch all those kinds of shows,
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I honestly, that was one. That was one that I would see on those shows and wonder, like, this is weird. But I think now it's like direct energy weapons.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they're like zapping people in their own kitchen. That's way messed up.
I mean, honestly, I really do think that would explain
direct energy.
Oh my God! Like, what if they were practicing on it?
Right.
And they were like, "Oh, we're just doing a test run," and then somebody's grandma gets fried in the kitchen.
Yeah.
That's
psychotronic. Wombmen. Yeah. Psionic. Yeah.
It's all possibility. I don't know why people were spontaneously combusting, but to me, that makes sense. And that technology has been around way since Tesla. Tesla essentially invented the quote death ray, which wasn't the name he gave.
Scalar.
But yeah,
he invented the scalar technology.
So that
they use now.
Yeah. Go ahead, Erika.
You know what? It makes me think about this. Like Sean Bond interviewed a guy who, I don't know if you call him a Satanist or whatever. He was educating people on how he became what he became. And I think he worked at a nuclear power plant, and a group of people nearby did a sacrifice to summon a particular demon, and it caused an accident in the plant that got him physically distorted and mentally physically distorted. And so I guess he shares space with a certain demon or something. It was just, and so now I'm thinking of people who are doing certain rituals. And this was a cool thing he said too. He said that people want to give a little blood sacrifice, like some blood from some meat or a lamb, when they number one get pissed off because they're summoned, and number two, they want real blood sacrifices. They don't want like if you drain the little blood. No, they want like real sacrifices. So whatever this entity was, it created some destruction in that area.
Right.
Like even his body temperature is messed up. Like he has all this stuff going on, but that wasn't the details. But I'm just thinking about how people could be just fucking around and just cause someone else to spontaneously combust. It's all your fault if you're over there doing something stupid. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, that's why you don't just like haphazardly play around with any of these things or these abilities or whatever, because you don't, if you're not taught about it, you don't know what you're doing. It could be dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I appreciated his outlook on that, because people think what they're doing is a sacrifice. And number one, would you, if you were at home chilling with your family, would you want someone to summon you like out of thin air, boom, and like,
yeah, without warning, yeah.
I turned it weird, y'all. I always like,
no,
deep, you know.
I love it. Bring it on.
Okay.
Weird.
So on this journey, you're like, are you on this path? Like, you know, have you been feeling like it's been a straight line, or has it been like, you know, I'm not there yet, still looking?
It's been like that.
Yeah. No, it's been, I don't think we're ever going to be fully awake, or we're going to have all the answers. Like I said earlier, it's if you're really here, like evolving your soul and evolving as a human. So it's so easy just to stop where you are and just be and just live life as is. But you can't.
I've made it.
Right.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
Unless you're out there pushing yourself and taking those leaps and taking chances and risks, that's when the growth comes. And that's when you realize and you start to learn a lot about yourself, because you're putting yourself into new situations. And then now you're observing how you're reacting. So then, like, okay, you have to ask yourself questions. Why am I acting this way? It's this whole journey that's never going to end unless you want it to end. I feel like it's a never ending, the awakening is never ending.
You don't like arrive at the destination. Oh, I'm awake now and I know everything, you know, and I'm fully, you know, my growth is done. You never arrive at that. Yeah.
Right. So it is going to be a roller coaster of ups and downs and highs and lows until you transition.
Yeah. We're going to be, you know, we're ascending.
So have you all had to force some transition on the other? Like, hey, bro, you need to get your shit together. Like, because you spend time together and you
not really
care about each other, or do you just like observe and not observe? Like, oh, he's tripping today. I'm not. You know, like,
well,
over here, like,
we just had this conversation like 2 days ago. How it's really ironic how we're kind of always on the same page and like we're always evolving. Like it's like
we're on the same wavelength.
Like it's
crazy.
It's like that collective consciousness, but we're like in tune with each other. So when one of us is like experiencing something subconsciously, the other one is going through it, whether they know it or not. And we just always seem to resonate with all the same stuff. We've never had to sit there and like convince each other.
There's never been like really arguments or like somebody's.
I wondered about that. Like, if you guys ever beat each other up in the show, like, you know, if you do that one more time, like, apologies, like, like Jermaine does it to us after the show. No, I'm just kidding.
Like
he's like, get back on those streets.
And I think that's why we met, and I think that's why the show works, and that's why we're even at where we are, because we
complement each other really well to just. Right. So and we get people saying that to us, like, you guys complement each other really well, like your energies just really work well together,
and it's never forced. Like we haven't had to force the show at all. Like it's kind of evolved into what it is. I mean, obviously we're putting work in and doing the work, but at the same time, we've never had to force it. It's been the easiest thing, you know.
That's what I asked you before. Like, has it ever become a job, or is it like a passion?
It's a passion. We purposely make it not a job so we can still be passionate about it. Because if we're doing it because we have to do it to make money, it loses all of its energy.
That defeats the whole point of why we're doing it.
Yeah. Anything creative, if you have to do it as a job, it's just sucks the life right out of it.
Yeah. And then it's like, well, why are you doing it then?
Yeah.
It's like we're getting out of that paradigm of having to.
The quickest way to kill my enthusiasm is to ask me for a favor. Like there's stuff that I would do.
Yeah.
Just by natural, it's like, oh, can I get a favor?
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Take the wind out of me. So dating and balancing the show, like you all meet ladies, they're in different places. Does that put a strain on the show and the friendship?
No.
Like, have you ever seen him date and be like, that girl's crazy, you need to leave her alone? Like,
no, because we're at a point where we're not dating those crazy. Like, we're not like, it's not like, not that people aren't crazy, but I guess
they get backdoor crazy nowadays, Tyler. People
I'm saying
crazy.
You attract it is, but you attract your own frequency, right?
Yeah.
So we're not bringing people into our lives who aren't on the same
on our level. Yeah. We're luckily at a place where we have the discernment, to be like, oh, this person is not really, it's not, someone I'm connecting with.
Well, and then I'm past the phase of my life where like, I used to be young and want to party and meet girls and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And now it's a completely different reason. You're looking for a partner and somebody to love and be one with, and that divine counterpart, all that stuff. Where before I was just looking for somebody to sleep with,
Okay, so that's okay, baby. We got needs. We all got needs.
Right.
Jermaine be talking shit to me. I'm like, I got a specific need. You be needing a whole bunch of stuff. I need this one particular thing. If I can get, I got a little my little category.
Thing.
And if that's mutual,
I know.
Nothing wrong with that.
I don't want to go around and molest anybody though, Jermaine. I got to get my shit together. I got to have my shit. Okay? I need it. Okay.
As far as it affecting the show, it never affects the show because we're only doing one episode a week, which no matter what schedule you have, like if you're passionate about it, you can make one episode a week work no matter what. And no matter what your life situation is, for the most part, unless it's some emergency or something. So we don't overstress our schedule. We don't put too much on our plate. Only doing one a week. There's tons of content out there on the internet for everyone to just consume every day. So there's no reason we have to keep putting a bunch out.
Yeah.
Once a week is fine. And that gives people plenty to process until next week. And it allows us to put our energy into an episode properly and do it properly without feeling exhausted or just phoning it in or like it's just.
And we do have lives outside of the show as well,
right? That which is important.
Time to and energy for that.
Yeah.
But I'm glad
that's awesome. Yeah.
Stick to the once a week. We've been very consistent from day one with that, and that's helped us a ton with growing the show and getting. Because I see a lot of people in a lot of shows, they'll only put out stuff like once a month, or if even that, or they'll do it consistently for a little bit and then kind of stop for a really long time and then kind of do one, but then their shows never really build much of an audience because they're not consistent, they're not really. So I like that we stuck to that.
Right. I mean,
able to do that.
Consistency and good content.
And good content, really good guests. Like almost, every guest we've had on has been.
So have you guys ever thought like, let's just pack this up and I think, I'm tired. I need to take a break.
I mean, that's the whole thing. When you're only doing it as minimal as we are, you don't really feel like you ever need that break.
We really only do breaks if we're on a trip somewhere, if we're out of town. And then it's like, okay, it's too much to try to do the show and
travel
or do be at this event or this thing or whatever.
So what we'll do then sometimes is we'll pre-record a few episodes.
So we'll do that.
And then we'll just have them ready to go and then we'll upload them while we're out of town. Like while I was in Australia.
Responsible businessmen.
while I was in Australia.
That's why I asked, like, is it a passion? Because you're like so consistent and responsible.
Well, it's both. I mean, it is, but I guess it helps to have two both of us, because like if it was just me doing something, I guarantee you I would not I would not be this consistent.
Right. You got a built-in accountability partner.
It's like we help each other to stay on track, I feel like, with that.
Yeah.
Right.
So exactly, Tyler, I noticed you said divine counterpart. You did not say that you wanted no polygamy, no amory, what do you call it? Polyamory. You're not going to build a harem like, you know, some people we know they're going to build a harem and they're like, I love all the girl. Like,
I'm not against anything that anybody wants to do and what they believe in and what they feel is right. Because first of all, after what I realized is learning about other ET races, depending on your genetics, certain species, they do have multiple partners and different things. So
as long as you're not hiding things from people,
right,
where that's where the cheating thing comes in. If you have a partner that thinks you're their only person and then you're with other people secretly, that's where, because then you're basically lying, you know, that's deception.
But if
it's consensual,
right? But let me finish my point though. So if people are like that and they feel so strong that this is the right way, well, they might have more DNA of a specific ET race that practices that. And it's in their blood, it's in their DNA to think that it's okay to have multiple partners because that's the way they did it where they came from. And then you might come from a different species that that does it differently, whatever. So I feel like that's why we have such a diverse range of, I don't know, whatever, you know what I'm trying to say.
I love it because it's like people have to release control of other people's actions and stop being so like your laws. It's like the Book of Erika. The Book of Erika says this, but you know, the Book of Tyler might have different chapters in it. So you kind of gotta, you know, take the Book of Erika to Erika's house and shut up. You know what I'm saying? And stop being so judgmental of people. Yeah.
I literally look at everyone and I wonder, okay, what ET genetics do they have? I always do that when I'm looking at people all over the world. And I realize that those genetics come from all over the galaxy. And each one of those races has different belief systems and has different ways that they function and that they reproduce. And I've heard some people explain, like there's even a type of reptilian that they have to mate with multiple partners in order to reproduce. It's this really weird cycle. So if you have that genetics within you here as a human, you're going to be craving multiple partners and you don't know why, while the next person thinks it's wrong.
And then abusing yourself with guilt.
Right. And it might not be wrong. It might not be wrong at all because inherently somewhere inside you know, that's how you used to do it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm glad that you brought up genetics because even if science didn't acknowledge it as an ET race, we actually did read a study that said only 50% of people have the monogamy gene.
There you go. Perfect. That just proves my point. That proves my point. Where is that gene?
Outside of that, when somebody comes at me with this kind of conversation, I let them know, like, there's a village in China where no one gets married. There's not even a word for father. So at night, the men come and, you know, they date or however you want to have relations, and women are allowed to have multiple partners. And there's, you know, so if it could be your kid's birthday, you won't acknowledge it because there's no dad. In that house is the uncles, and the mom and the aunts. And the women are basically in control of that whole village. So when someone comes at me and says, oh, but this is the way it's supposed to be, I'm like, well, why are there places like this?
Right.
There's no supposed to be.
Exactly. It's just.
But again, then there's the principle.
Said, y'all, we don't have to do it that way anymore. You don't have to do it missionary.
But again, yeah, exactly. But I would just say the caveat to that is as long as you're not lying, because if you have like 5 partners and each one thinks you're their only partner and is devastated when they find out, you know, that's where, because then you're deceiving and you're
right. Then you're not doing.
You're not in integrity. Then
you're not in integrity.
A lot of people think they want things too, but they can't handle it. You know what I mean? Like people say, I'm gonna be this way, but then when they feel the pain jealousy or whatever. Like people think they're ready for certain things, but hey, they'll figure it out.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
A lot of people lie to themselves, like, I can handle it. Like, go for it.
Yeah. Good luck with that. Yeah.
To me, none of that resonates with me. One partner.
Doesn't resonate with
one
me.
partner. That's it.
Yeah.
And that's how I've always been.
And I'm not saying that because of any of my friends, because I believe like if people do, I'm saying I've been around a lot of people who were polyamory and different things, because I'm always asking questions like, well, how do y'all, and then I see the drama, the fallout. I'm nosy.
Exactly.
I'm nosy. That's why I do this, because I'm nosy. I'm just asking people questions.
Right.
So I noticed you didn't use the word twin flame or soulmate or anything like that. Do you have thoughts on those words?
Yeah, I think twin flame can be a psyop, the twin flame trap we've all heard of. Go ahead.
I don't like labels, but I know there's a deeper connection that you could call twin flame or divine counterpart or whatever. And then there's soulmate, and some people think that's different than the twin flame. And I don't know, like those are all labels, and like everyone has different interpretations. But then, like you said, I feel like there is a big thing with the twin flame where it gets misused. It gets used as an excuse for a lot of people to stay in very unhealthy, toxic relationships.
Sounds like something
that
causes abuse and pain.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So
yeah. And I've seen that a lot. I
even saw someone, and I'm not even gonna say it, this lady is big, and she talks about the twin flame experience. And to my understanding, what I heard out of her mouth, it sounded like this man was beating on her.
Right.
Probably was.
And I was like, what?
Well, because you're programmed to think that behavior is okay because
that's just how the twin flame works.
Like there's the runner chaser, and you guys are like,
oh, I'm the runner, he's the chaser, blah, blah, blah.
So yeah, and on some level there might be an aspect of that is true, but some people take that as gospel, and they'll stay in a toxic relationship because they think it's their twin, and they accept, and basically they co-create this toxic behavior that makes them both miserable, and they don't even realize it.
Yeah.
That
being said, I do believe I can speak for myself. Like I have finally met my, if you want to call it twin flame or divine counterpart.
Because the candle.
Yeah.
Right.
Because we both met and just like, we both just knew each other. We were just like, whoa, like I know you,
right.
And we just had that deep connection instantly. And I think Tyler, you can probably say that as well.
Right.
You and Natalie, right?
Right. But it's exactly. So it's not anything else. It doesn't have to do with like anything besides that soul recognition. That's what hooks you. You know the person on such a deep level, even though you just met. It's like 5 minutes after meeting, you already want to say, I love you, because it's just there. It's sparked within you. Oh, you met this, you don't even know what's happening. So it's really interesting to look at it that way. So I do believe in, like you said, you can give it whatever label you want. I do think there's that deeper connection out there. For I don't know, for everyone or not, I don't know, but I know it's possible because I've experienced it.
Same.
I think people too, knowing that we changed so much, look at your circle, how it's changed just since 2017, that maybe there's, a part of that, like you say, they're forcing themselves to be in certain situations, not really accepting change, that sometimes we grow together for a season. I feel like that with regular people too, people who have no idea about twin flames, because I see this stuff on the internet all the time. Like, if he left me, I'll kill him. I'm like, whoa, they got this kind of music.
That's not love. Yeah.
Without you, I can't breathe without you. So we're just being taught like all this garbage. And I'm like, you better fucking breathe, because I'm leaving.
Right. It's codependent. Exactly. Well, that's just codependent. So that's where the trauma.
That's codependence.
That's codependency. That is
trauma
fear of abandonment.
Yeah.
Trauma. So that's unhealed traits.
Yeah.
That if somebody within themselves can recognize their own behavior, they can address that and grow from that and learn and heal. But a lot of people, because of society, they don't even know that that's an option. They don't even understand that their actions or behaviors are wrong, because they're so firm in their beliefs and their ways of doing things because their parents did it that way, and then all their friends do it that way.
So you get used to people throwing things and fighting and slamming doors and giving each other the silent treatment. So you think, oh, this is normal. I know I decided like with my past, with my son's dad, with my ex-husband, like I'm not gonna be in a house teaching my son that this is what normal love is. This is not normal.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Right.
This is not good or healthy because people realize that as you're raising your kids, you're actually showing them this is what love is.
Yes.
So if I stay in an abusive relationship or people are throwing food on the wall or staying out and not coming home for 2-3 days, then that is not fucking, helping your kid.
And that's traumatizing your kids if they're around that as well.
Well, and then anything that happens before the age of 7, it writes your future. So that's programmed into you and you don't know any different. So when you get into that situation as an adult, you actually think it's normal when it's not normal at all. And then we have people, I see this a lot. I see this on Instagram, especially within females, and nothing against them, but I see these people like they make a list of like what they deserve out of a relationship or out of a man, but how do we know, how do they know that they deserve that? Because what are they doing for themselves? Like, you should be able to be happy within your own being with yourself. You should be able to provide all that stuff that's on your list. You should be able to provide that for yourself.
Yeah.
And
the other person should be there as well.
Not demand it from somebody else, because as soon as you have that list and you go out there, you already have this version of this person in your head. And when they don't meet that version that you've created, then they get pissed at you and they think that you're a bad person and they start belittling.
So then
you.
it's like love is a transaction to them. And like, if you're not giving me these things,
it's a transaction. Does he pay
no.
And you know what irritates me? This ghetto thing about meeting people and then telling them about your electric bill. Like, what the fuck is going on with people?
Right.
Hey,
by the way,
you, because I done met you and you got an electric bill you can't pay. I'm a little nervous.
Yeah.
Back up,
Exactly.
For the record.
Woman, and as a woman, if I meet another woman and bitch, you struggling with you, I don't think I want to hang out with you that much. Right. Something going on over there with you and your electric bill.
Yeah.
For the record, do not take relationship advice from me. I'm just saying, like, I'm sharing all this stuff from my own experience, but that doesn't mean I'm right. I mean, I don't want somebody to take it as gospel. Like,
you said what resonates. I'm gonna take it and resonate because this is exactly how I feel. Like, I have the things that I desire and I get them for myself. I spoil myself. Now, if I come around you and I start to notice that I gotta go to the pawn shop, or I'm having to give. You know what I mean? Like if you're starting to subtract from my situation when it comes to, I have a lot of joy and a lot of happiness. If now I'm starting to feel a lot less joy because you're in my space, that's how I can judge you now, because I've provided for myself and I have this palace of happiness. I am the princess. I'm the first lady, right? So and then now you come around my orbit and then I'm like,
Well, that's called healthy boundaries, and that's knowing yourself and knowing what you deserve. But you don't put those expectations on somebody else. Like, no,
I don't need somebody to give me any of these things. I got it for myself. Now I can actually look at your character and see who you really are, because I'm not worried about you giving me money or taking me out to eat or doing all these activities. I can actually start to judge you for who you are.
Well, the biggest red flag or the biggest key is, if you're in a relationship, you don't have to ask anybody, just feel into it. Is it one-sided or not? Are you guys both bringing everything to the table, or is one person doing it is not being reciprocated? So
are you feeding each other, or is one person taking and parasiting off the other
and not reciprocating? So just think of that. Like, and then I heard it on an old Joe Rogan podcast. They were talking about relationships.
Joe Rogan. Is that why you guys got to set up like this? Because Joe Rogan?
No.
You are the same mics.
They are the same mics he uses. Yeah.
Okay.
But he said in an old episode, and it stuck with me. He's like, if you're not in a relationship where you and your partner are enhancing each other and making each other a better person every single day, like, then what are you doing? Because it's one-sided. Otherwise, if it's not that, then it's one-sided, and somebody's doing more in the relationship and they're carrying the weight and providing, while the other one, like you said, it's like a parasite you're just feeding off of. So just advice I always use that advice when I step into a relationship. Like, are we making each other's lives better or worse? What's going on here?
And I feel like when you're really with the right person, you're going to want to constantly be giving to them, constantly be
it doesn't feel like a chore.
And it's not going to be like, oh.
Yeah.
I
like
Look at Jermaine down there. He's pissed. He's like, man, we're supposed to be talking about disclosure.
Yeah, he's like,
no, I'm not.
Talk about the love. You know what? My biggest red flag too is when someone comes and they try to change something about you.
Right.
Because what I usually notice is people like, you're so great. Why do you do that so much? You know, then the next day, like, why do you do this? Why do you do that? Why are you all like, no, bye.
But sometimes pay attention to that, because that's happened to me before, where they'll say something like that, but they're bringing to my attention something I'm doing that is toxic, actually. And I sit with it. I actually can, if somebody says, why are you responding that way? Or why are you doing that? And I think about it. I don't just get mad at them. I sit with it and I say, okay, why am I acting this way? And then you go back to your childhood. Oh, that's because I watched my mom treat my stepdad this way. And I'm just so used to seeing everyone do that in this situation, that's how I'm responding in this situation. And guess what? You're right. What I'm doing actually isn't healthy. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. And that's also how you grow. So you just don't get mad at the other person for calling out your bullshit, because sometimes your bullshit is bullshit that does need to be addressed.
Don't you come over here calling out my bullshit, telling me, send you back to your house. No, I never want to hurt anybody's feeling. What happened to me the other day? This man, he met me and he was like, you're such a wonderful woman. You're a good woman. I would never want to change anything about you, but I want to teach you about the Bible and I want you to study this.
I've seen that a lot.
Yep. That's when you're like, I'm good. Yeah.
But the first thing he said, everything he said, he went and did the exact, and I'm talking about in a matter of an hour.
Oh, really?
I don't know him. We didn't try to date. It was like, dude, you're here to, the side of my house. What are you doing? Like,
he couldn't handle it.
So he was like, I just want to teach you. You don't want to go to hell. He said, you don't want to put one pinky in hell, Erika. Do you know where women go when they die?
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
I was like so fucking mad. Like, dude, you just told me I'm going to hell when I die. Like, you just trying to put that whole
right.
Like, I'll never take that back.
Well, that's a problem. That's a problem with some of the religions. You put yourself on a pedestal and you feel like you're better than anyone else who isn't practicing the same thing you are. And exactly what you just experienced happens.
That fear-based belief system of that, like.
Right, because if I convert now because I'm scared to go to hell, is my heart in the right place?
No. You're doing it out of fear, anything out of fear isn't in alignment with your soul's journey.
And fear is the opposite of love. Everything else is the opposite of love. So since we talked about someone trying to, what was that?
I don't know.
I guess he thought he was trying to be my hero, right?
Oh, like
people their little hero journey and their what do you call it, Jermaine? Savior complex. I said
savior complex. Yeah.
Talk more about the savior complex, because I think I was around a young man, and I don't. We already had our discussion, and so hopefully it doesn't hurt his feelings. But he says sometimes, my vibration is so high that. I don't do these things anymore. And I'm like, oh, like that is like, well, it just, you could choke on it. It's just,
Well,
that's what you call spiritual ego.
Right. But here's the thing. Guess what? Your vibration might be higher than a lot of other people because you've grown and you've developed and you get to a place where your frequency has risen. That's the whole goal, right? But guess what? That doesn't mean you can't go back and hang out with those people anymore or not hang out with them anymore. And I realize that when I go into somewhere I'm invited with my old friends who I don't align with at all, I find myself like shifting into this older version of myself to hang out with them because that's the version of myself that they know. If I was to show up as Journey to Truth Tyler, we would be on a completely different page. We don't resonate anymore. So I have to almost shift your density to exist around them. And there's nothing wrong with that because guess what? That's exactly what the ETs have to do when they want to come and hang out with us.
Yeah,
they have to do
coming down sometimes.
Right, exactly. And that does, so don't ever get to a point where you're too good, because if everyone had that mentality, the ETs would never come here because we've already raised our vibration and I can't hang around those humans. That's not the way to look at it.
Everybody does it.
But it doesn't mean you want to spend all your time around
at
the same time. That's the other extreme.
Some people do it.
Sure, whatever.
Even atheists do it. That's when the guy hated about hanging out with my ex-husband because he would be like, well, actually, if somebody said, bless you, I used to want to punch him in the face. He would do it every single time. He would be like, well, actually, God bless you. Like he would just come into this speech and I would be like, if you don't shut
up. You're saying be less you.
Every time someone sees me, okay?
Well, well, why does that person feel the need to constantly correct someone else?
I'm around people all the time and I don't say anything when I see them be stupid. So
right. Well, it's so easy to sit there and it's easy.
Well, that's what it takes, wisdom and discernment to know what to say when, and like what is like is if I say this, is this going to be helping this person or helping?
It's helping, and then that break that down into an acronym too, the HOPE.
Yeah,
hope. Yeah,
I forgot what it is. Is it helpful? Is it useful? So there's a list of things that like. Is there any point in saying what you say? Some people, I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I don't know what to do with them. I don't know what to put in category. I don't know. Some things are just unnecessary arguments. They're just unnecessary.
Yeah. Well, that's the well, the reason if someone's pointing out what's wrong with you, and what they're basically pointing out their own flaws. They're telling you it's projection. They're telling you where they haven't healed yet. That's why they're have a problem with you doing it, because they have a problem with themselves doing it, but they don't even realize it.
Because they're getting triggered, and people's triggers show you where they need healing, where it shows you, they're showing you where they're at. They're not, they think they're telling you about you, but they're actually telling you about themselves.
Amen.
When you understand that, then you don't take things personally.
They do it. No. If you don't eat meat, I think that's great. There's just people like we're moving in waves, so we change in waves, and I can't put all my expectations on you because I'm in this place today. Just like people who are saying are not awake, like sometimes it's a bit insulting. But you might be at this place, but somebody 10 years ago was waiting for you, like, wake the freak up, you blockhead.
Exactly.
Right? So now you're like, I wish everybody else would just hurry up. They're just so fucking stupid. And you're like, dude, calm down. You just woke up like yesterday. Sit your ass down, like you know it all now.
Right.
You just so like, no.
Right.
I did that.
It's just where people are at.
I admittedly did that when I first woke up. I immediately thought like, I didn't feel better than somebody else, but I was just like, how do you not see it? I would get angry with them, but I was like, wait, I just figured this out. Like,
right.
I obviously
we were all once there.
But I would get so mad and I would get in these arguments. I knew better. And like, I don't know.
Though at the same time, with how crazy the world is right now and everything's so in your face, it is a little bit like, wow, you have to be like really, really asleep to not see something's wrong and something's off here.
Right.
But that's showing where people are
not seeing it. Like right now, if anybody's still like, no, Biden's a good president, I would be like, man, my face.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You're like, oh my.
Yeah, there's some things where, I just have to avoid certain people. Like, no, man, I just can't go.
Put a medal on somebody, right? I mean, come on.
Yeah. Exactly.
I can't even, I don't even know what to do with those kinds of videos. I'm like, stop it, y'all. You're lying. Y'all don't even have a dude that's doing this. This is all Photoshop. I'm not going to.
Right. There's too many things that just the Queen's funeral. somebody was pointing out like she's wearing a mask. Clearly you could see like this mask and then
Camilla, was it Camilla's neck?
Yeah.
Bubble. She had a bubble in the middle of the neck.
It's like you can clearly see where it was lapped over her skin, and then there's so many.
I saw Beyonce's wig was like that once too. I don't know.
CGI
deep fake.
Wig, her face was like.
Well, here's the thing.
Like Biden's mumbling incoherently at one point, then he's talking intelligently at one point. You're like, what? How is this the same person? It looks different. Like
what we're seeing.
You end your speech with that's all, folks. Like that's the end of the speech.
Exactly.
Right.
Like what the fuck is you?
Exactly.
I mean, it's pretty obvious if you know what to look for. And then they put it out like it's straight up. The technology's out there to deep fake technology. So there is an ad that's been coming across Instagram that I've been noticing, and it's a marketing app that you download. You type a script in and you choose a human avatar, and the human avatar speaks in their own voice, whatever voice you choose for them, and they speak your script to your audience. And
I was gonna get that.
When you look at it, so it's all digitally composed human avatar. So it's not real. It's all CGI, but it looks so real. You cannot tell that it's not a person on camera talking to you. That technology is available to you, me, and everybody right now in the App Store for your own business. You mean to tell me that the politicians, the world leaders, they're not doing the exact same thing when Biden needs to make a speech and he can't get out of bed because he's a malfunctioning clone?
Yeah.
They're going to freaking type in this freaking script into this program. They're going to put a CGI Biden on the camera, Obama, whoever it is. Mm-hmm. We've seen it with everybody. Prince Charles, I swear his speech after the Queen dies, I swear they were using that technology. I analyzed it. It does not look organic. Nothing is what we think it is.
Everything's a show, essentially.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what I started telling people. You know, we're supposed to have a wall down to Mexico. I said, unless I can go down there and touch it, I don't believe it exists. We have absolutely no freaking idea what's real.
Right.
I mean, you could slap a mosquito. You really don't know if that's an electron. I'm like, I don't even know what to
right.
for. Right. I have no idea. They were showing the birds, and I was like, dang, there is this one bird that keeps flying around. Like, I don't know if it's a real bird or not.
Right,
you know,
right.
I'm in Florida. It rains every day at 3:00. I'm like, how does it rain every day between 3 and 5? Like, what the hell's going on here?
Right.
Yeah.
Simulation.
What kind of simulation is this? Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, there's a lot of creepy stuff out there.
And the hurricane this time.
But you know, people ask me, I don't even watch the news because
God, I can't.
Somebody said, they said, is it raining? I called somebody to be funny. I said, is it raining outside? And I said, because I don't know what, it was something dumb. I was like, because I can't tell. I don't know. I was like, I don't know if it's real or not. You tell me, is it really raining?
Right.
I'm dumb. I had a dumb joke. It was a dumb joke, guys.
That's all right.
It didn't pass. It didn't fly. So
that's all right. We'll let it slide.
Let it slide this time. Let it slide. So, I mean, I like you guys. And you just like seem so like-minded. So I'm like, wow, this is good. You guys, you passed my test. I approve. Hey, you're next, I'm playing.
we learned it from watching Jermaine.
Oh, you learned it from Jermaine.
You learned everything we know from Jermaine.
That's right. Out of the darkness of the closet, reaching out into the light. It's Jermaine.
Yeah.
To be honest, when I first woke up and I saw Jermaine's videos, I never watched any of them because I didn't understand what the hell he was talking about. I wasn't at that level yet.
Oh, wow.
None of what you were saying made any sense to me because I wasn't at that level. It took a while.
What is this guy talking to?
It took a while for me to open that closet door and hang out for a little bit.
Yeah.
Open that closet door.
I remember the first time I watched Jermaine and I said, I can't hear you. Something's wrong with the phone. He said, it's the fucking icons, Erika. And I was like, hey.
The first time I heard about the archons,
my face turned so hot.
Right. Always Archons.
Everything's the Archons.
I was like, they let this man scream at people on Facebook like this? Like, how do they do that for like...
There's nothing more entertaining than when Jermaine gets triggered.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Sometimes
this trigger could last like for 3 to 5 days.
Jermaine, I'll never forget. He went on a rant when the COVID mask first started, and he was going. I was driving, listening to him. He was going this rant about the mask, and he was like, "And now these fucking girls are bedazzling their goddamn mask." He's like, "This ain't fucking Halloween." I was laughing.
It's like you could just tune in to some type like a marathon of Sanford and Son or some shit. We just check in and see what Jermaine doing today. Yesterday.
It's the best.
It was so funny because he wore other people out. They was like, I'm tired of trying to tell him to calm down. I'm like, yeah, man. They just tired of telling him to calm down. They just said, hey, the hell with it.
Right, but he's right. It isn't Halloween, and people were turning it into a fashion show. It's funny.
Exactly.
Nowadays, when I see people, it freaks me out when I see them. I'm like, oh, like we wondering what's wrong with them. Like,
right.
Get away from me.
Right.
Wow.
People wearing masks nowadays. You gotta wonder what's going on with them.
Yeah. Like still wearing a mask.
Wearing it outside in their car by themselves.
They fucking insane.
In their own house.
That's what's wrong.
Especially when it's a big buffed out man. And I'm like, you're a big buff man, but you're looking a little fruity right now. Like,
he been a coward.
Well, that's also the whole thing Max Spears used to talk about is this is the attack on the alpha male, right? So you have these men, like I saw Army at the airport, and they were one of the guys, this big guy, tall, looked like super intimidating, but he was the only one wearing a mask. I'm like any intimidation that you might have had is just out
Gone.
the window. Yeah. And then I get on the plane, and then the guy next to me is wearing a mask, but his wife isn't. And I'm just like how unmanly.
Who wears the pants in that relationship?
Exactly.
Yeah. She's got. Yeah. Who's running the show there?
How did you adjust during that time? Like, did you have to change life? Like during that time? Like during that time, we did. My son did homeschool. I quit doing what I was doing, and it was like this wonderful exit out of the office that I was in, because I was really trapped by the drama of the people in the office. That it was like all these people that are around each other that don't even like each other. But then they have to make speeches about how great the other person is I'm like, oh God, this sucks. And it was just like,
it's all fake.
Yeah. Some fresh air to like just relax. But now I'm to the point where I'm like, man, don't even call me on my phone. Like I'm just not doing things I don't want to do anymore.
Right. You can't.
Right.
You can't. We don't have the luxury to misuse our energy anymore. I mean, this is a spiritual war. It's a battle. And if we're in the wrong situation that isn't in alignment with our soul, the universe is going to let you know, and shit isn't going to feel right, and it's not going to go well for you. So by separating yourself from those situations, that's actually the healthiest thing you can do.
Yeah. I live out here in Florida, and all these years, since 2006, I had been to the beach twice. When they announced that, so-called punishment on us, I think we went to the beach like 8 times, like that, nice. Like a month. Like we just kept going to the beach.
That's amazing.
And I just became alive. Like, so some people are like, oh, that time sucked. But it was like, nah, this is great. And they got a discount on beer at the store right now. That was $1.64, and we were going to the beach. I was like, man.
And the beach is probably way less crowded because of that.
All that was a lie.
There are specials on Corona.
They were showing the beaches here. I said, those old fat people at the beach, those aren't no damn spring breakers. They're liars.
Yeah.
Like, blow the picture up. Those are, it's all stock photos,
Yeah, right. It's all manipulation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tyler and I, we were living together at the time, and nothing changed for us. If you don't watch the news, everything's the same, but stuff's closed down because we're told, oh, there's this big scary virus. And we're like, I don't see people dropping dead left and right.
I didn't see any. Actually,
I didn't see the right people dropping dead. That's what the problem was. It was
like, well, you know what I noticed? This is the honest to God's truth. I noticed that no one I knew anyone that was getting sick. Or I didn't know anyone that was getting sick until the first jab came out. Then that's when everyone started getting sick.
But then
it was after the jab.
And that gets blamed on.
Talk to people about that too, because I said, if this is real, then that means me or someone around me, you should be getting phone calls like, did you know that Jimmy died? Tracy died. Show us, like, you should be getting phone calls on a daily basis. And I was like, I don't see that.
It was all manufactured, fake psyop. Yeah. Exactly.
Well, that, and if it was real, they would have had like biohazard containment units for the mask, like the discarded mask.
And I'm not saying the virus wasn't real.
Your discarded mask should be virus.
Right.
Like,
like
the mask
you think they would have like a biohazard bin
instead of on the ground, right? You'd be
just wearing a piece of cloth around your face, and that's fine. Yeah, like it was so obvious. But and the virus could very well be real, but that doesn't mean
it was
as bad as they tried to make it. Yeah, it wasn't like, oh my God, it's killing everyone. It's like at worst, it's like the same as the flu.
Right. It's almost bad
forever. So why are we doing all this? Like,
what are you saying? What are you saying,
Brad?
I was saying, if you can smell a fart through your mask, and you're already
right.
Exactly. You're not. It's not protecting you from shit.
I'm gonna minimize this, but I mean, I remember I was in the Army and a sergeant and a captain doctor. The reason why we wear those when we worked in the lab was because people's blood shoots out and it splashes, and it's really just splash protection.
Right.
For urine and blood and the things that we work with. And this guy, he did splash, but he didn't wear the little face shield, and it got in his eye, so he got herpes in his eye. Never forget that. It was awful. Yeah, but I just know that that's not the purpose of it. But outside of that, because I'm like, we are really pushing it, and we're pushing it. So, well, with your show, right? Do you have a chicken list? Like, you've interviewed some great people, but maybe there's someone on the list that we can't call that person.
Chicken list, like KFC, Popeyes, churches.
Oh man, I live right behind.
That's our chicken list.
No, I'm joking. So rephrase that question again. The chicken list is what?
This guy, like you interview so many great people, but has there been some maybe people you were too intimidated to call? Like, we haven't put that call out yet. Like, but we really want to have this person on the show.
Anyone we've ever wanted to have on the show, we've reached out to, and if they don't get back to us, or we just can't seem to get a hold of them, we just accept it. Hey, maybe it's not the right time.
There's other people. The's people we still want to get on.
Yeah. Plan B would be just to stalk them. Like, I'm going to send you one letter.
Yeah.
Give me what I want. Like, yeah.
There's I have a whole list of people that I want to get on, but like we book usually a month or more in advance, and I like there's a lot of them are big name people that get millions of messages every day, and it's hard to, unless we have a connection, like a friend that's good friends with them.
You have to know somebody that knows somebody. Yeah.
For the bigger name.
So it's like a friends with benefits situation. If you could just squeeze on in there.
Yeah. Because sometimes a normal email is just going to get lost in the sea of emails. So some people are just hard to get a hold of in general.
And then I have a list of people that like I could message right now and get, but like it's hard because we almost have more people messaging us asking to be on the show than we are messaging them,
right? Which
is amazing. But then like we get booked so quickly that it's hard for me to be like, oh, we have a good window here, I'm gonna like try to book here. So it becomes hard to almost do that.
It's true, because I want to do, like, we do have a lot of emails, a lot of people, like it's honestly almost daily.
Yeah. I mean, you guys never answered my email, so I had to make up a whole show just to get to talk to y'all. I mean,
sorry about that.
You know, there's actually no way we can reply to every email and still maintain our energy levels, like without just completely depleting ourselves, because
there's no way.
Too many.
So sorry if that.
Like So I did want to, I just noticed too, like, Aaron, you said when you started, no, was it you? You started out with Jordan Maxwell and watching those guys.
David Icke, Jordan Maxwell.
Those are the two scariest people I know. Like, I was like, oh my God, at some point. And then there's the other guy who just went to court. He got sued not too long
Alex Jones.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I
had to stop watching Alex Jones. So I was like, at some point I just began to understand, like, this is gossip. What triggered me with not watching some people, not Jordan.
Very fear vibration. And that's the problem. Very
fear vibration. Yeah. Will make me feel sick. But you know what? I went to school and I learned green screen and voiceover. This is it. You were talking about that app, but I learned green screen and voiceover. And then I remember something was going around and it was like a news cast. And I was like, wait a minute, I got 500 news sets on my computer. I can put up green screen. I got the green cloth, you put the lights up, and I said, oh, we really don't know anything about anything, because some of this stuff is our school projects being passed around. Like there's the Phantom car crash. I don't know if you saw that. Somebody sent us a video and it's these car crashes out of nowhere. It's just one car and it looks like this car is hitting.
Right. I've seen that. I've seen those videos.
Or something. And I was like, oh, let me look this up first. So a lot of things are getting to the point where it's like, there's
a lot of fake stuff out there. You always got to do your due diligence and vet stuff.
Well, everything's fakeable.
But that's the problem. It's like, unless there's some kind of proof that it was a real event that somebody captured, then you don't really know.
Right.
But there's ways to analyze the video, and there's experts that do that, and they're like, this was not a faked thing because they analyzed it. Like there's what's the guy in the UFO, Jason Gleaves, his name. He's a guy in the UFO field that a lot of people will send their videos to him, and he's an expert. Like he'll analyze it to see if it was a faked CGI or a faked video, Photoshop or in any way, and you can be pretty certain. Like once he passes it, it's like, okay, this is a real UFO. This is real footage. So
or at least unexplainable. Yeah,
or at least unexplainable. Yeah, it's something other than an explainable thing.
Yeah, that was a big thing for me. Then I realized, like, wait a minute, that means CNN is basically just like what we do at school.
Yeah.
And I just knew, just like we said before, we already said this. I was reiterating, I guess, like, nothing is real unless, I don't know.
Right.
Can you believe what you see right there? I'm telling you, I can't even believe that.
Well, we just talked about this on our show, actually, that's going to air tonight with Randy. Like I always say this, if a UFO lands on the White House lawn and somebody gets 4K high definition footage of it and it goes viral, everyone is going to say this is CGI, that's fake, because everything is so easily fakeable.
Yeah.
Like, and we've been so programmed, and there's been so much bullshit footage handed to us that even when we finally get real footage, no one's going to believe it.
Well, and the people that don't want to believe it are gonna just assume it's faked because
it's worse than that.
That truth,
Right.
Worse than I told Jermaine, if a plane landed across the street, they could see the damn ETs walking across their own lawn, they'd be like, I gotta go to work tomorrow. I'm going to sleep. Like
I must be hallucinating. Yeah, exactly. I gotta go to work tomorrow.
Right.
I'm so caught up. I mean, that's just it. What is disclosure? Okay. Because I just feel like a lot of people, even if you showed them these things, they just still wouldn't really care.
Comes down to the individual.
Right.
I don't know how many people really care.
A lot of people don't. I've shown people stuff and they're like, how does that affect me?
Well, exactly. And that's why it's better to those type of people. It's better to talk about the technology that could transform the planet and their lives, because that does directly affect them. And then just the 3D level, like manipulation and suppression, and how the financial system is all, we're kept enslaved by that, and how we're kept, all this technology is kept hidden from us, but we have it on the planet we could have free energy, we could have replicators, we could have
stuff anti-gravity that's relatable to them.
Yeah. And we're kept enslaved using gas, coal, and oil, and paying to live on a planet we're born on for no reason, which makes no sense.
So in your idea of what disclosure should be, will be, needs to be? What's your ideal scenario that what's going to happen? What's going to change?
I think it's going to be, slower process, more of an integration process, because of a lot of people don't like this answer, but like we don't have the infrastructure for all this technology just to be handed to us overnight. Yeah. Like there has to be, if you're going to be sit with yourself and be real with yourself, it's going to take some time to slowly switch over into a new system, a new way of life. Not everyone is ready for it. A lot of us are. We're ready for it now. We wanted it yesterday. Some people don't even know that there's something else that they're out there to even be waiting for, Yeah. And if you were to me, it just comes down to the individual and where they're at, and you're going to experience your own reality based on where you are and what you're doing in your life to better yourself.
But I do believe the planet is being liberated.
Right.
I do believe, well, at the same time, while the ascension is happening and the frequency is rising, and that alone is exposing so much, because suddenly the dark is not able to hide like it used to. So everything's everything's coming
breakthrough, baby.
Everything's coming to the surface to be seen now and to be cleared, to be seen, dealt with, and cleared. And that's why it seems like things are getting worse, but it's just the darkness and the stuff's coming up to the surface that we're seeing it and experiencing it for the first time. So many people. So it seems like, oh my God, things are getting so terrible and crazy. It's like, no, it's always been like that.
Have you guys have had any synchronicities in the last couple months of anything that's been going on and correlating with your life?
You talking about like in the world stage compared to,
or in doing with your podcast, anything that's like, oh wow, like this is all connecting.
Man, we get all the time. Synchronicities.
For me, like I'm starting to notice like there's two worlds existing at the same time, right outside our door. And what I mean by that is like, we were just kind of driving around the other day. We're pretty certain we know of what we would call an SSP recruitment center right here nearby. There's a portal in the park. Like there's all this shit that's just this other world that's existing right outside of most people's visible spectrum, or what they perceive as reality. There's like two worlds existing simultaneously at the same time, and we keep seeing synchronicities all the time.
There's the fake one and the real one.
There's a fake one and the real one. Yeah. And it's just, if you know what to look for, you're going to start noticing, oh, that's not just an appliance store. That's actually a jump room. No, I'm not joking either. Like there's legitimate things that we're seeing that we hear all these other people talk about and explain. You start looking around and like, okay, there's something more to this building. It's not been a construction site for 4 years for no reason.
And
they're doing something here.
What's underground?
What's going on here?
Yeah.
This call center is not just a call center. This is a recruitment center, and pay attention to who comes and goes and what's going on there. And why are these Navy recruiters always at this restaurant? Why is this? There's just this really weird thing going on right now where I see two different worlds.
There's actually ETs living among us humans, the ones that look closer to us, they're able to actually blend in.
Right.
And there's a lot of stories I've heard about that, and insiders talk about that.
Right.
And that's, imagine when that info gets disclosed to the world, like, hey, there's ET.
Like the aliens hang out at strip clubs.
Well, what's funny about that is, remember that experience I had where I ran into the girl on the path who was giving me that code over and over?
Yeah.
Well, whenever I actually had a session with Ivan Teller, and it's just channeling, take it or leave it. But I had him look into that situation, and what came through, he's like, that was a Pleiadian girl.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was like, that was not even a human.
Oh,
that's why she stood out so much. She had no parents. She was giving me this weird message. It was totally out of place. If she was a Pleiadian here in human form, I wouldn't be surprised.
It was something.
Yeah.
Other than it wasn't just some girl,
I wonder if the girls with 3 boobs, if that's a particular race.
Yeah.
Probably.
He works at a strip club. No, he worked at a strip club, and he was with the girl, and she had 3 boobs. I mean, and I was I wonder who she really is. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's from Total Recall.
Yeah, Total Recall discloses that. Yeah.
With 3 boobs though. I think she's like a stripper. I don't know. She doesn't look human.
I think it's catching up with a lot of 3 boob strippers out here, man. It's a
new trend.
There's a strip club here in Florida. Maybe we can go when you guys come. No.
Yeah.
It's a spaceship on the roof, I think. Is it here? I think it's in Tampa.
There's a spaceship on the roof?
What? Really?
That's funny.
Yeah.
When Stephanie takes us to do that grid work and we start, doing our thing, I think we need to check that spot out and
Right.
Just to take some extra ones with y'all, just
actually I stay away from places like that just because I know that's like entity hangouts.
Entity central,
and you could take attachments home from that shit. And if you're not putting protection up, so I'm not against it if you do your own thing, but
we're not against it.
That's just for this 3 boob girl with the spaceship, all right?
Right.
I want to see that though.
I'll do it if it's a mission.
Say you want to see that.
Exactly.
We're gonna go in with plenty of protection and some ones.
Yes.
Right. Exactly. If we're going to gather intel, I guess I'll do it. Yeah.
Yes, we're going to gather intel. Get your wear my spy nipple bra or something. I don't know. Everybody's been like super patient. Y'all knew I was gonna trip. We're super patient. How you guys doing? We're gonna say hi to Prune and Sam 76, Sienna, Angela. She's always here with us. John Droxton, Tara Langer. Thank you, because she rang the bell today and became a new subscriber. And let's see, Tara, Tina, Disco Tina. I don't know if she sleeps because I think we got to check her out because she might be an alien too. I don't know.
There's a few people like that. I noticed.
She never sleeps. Let's see who else has been here. Liba, we love you. Roxanne Adams, the beautiful angel. Mother's messages. Oh, my sister, finally. I told her, I said, how you going to watch the show and get in there and never say nothing in the chat? You got to let people know that I got a family, that I'm just that crazy people still love me. Inquisitive Christian.
Yeah, we know her.
You do?
Yeah.
Loyal.
In our chat.
Loyal to the foil.
Oh, Loyal.
Yeah, Loyal. What's up, Loyal?
She's a good friend.
I love Loyal.
Nighthawk Raven. She's already in the room with us. That's Terri, right? That's you, White Raven? You got a wicked name, woman.
Nice.
You're pretty racy.
Awesome.
It's a good thing you got married young. I'm just saying. She's a wild one. Vital Sweets. She's out there. I think. Oh, the School of
That's Matthew.
Dimensional Intuition.
That's
Who's
Matthew
that?
Matthew Mornian.
Yeah.
What's up, Matthew?
Oh, and Monique. Always. Summer Solstice. And Michelle Stone. All right. We sent you guys some love. I haven't been in here because Tyler told me I was looking down too much. He told me to get my shit together. What he was telling me and how to improve my show, So I was like, okay.
And you earned your halo, though. You earned your halo today.
Right.
Yeah.
Somebody was saying I love Halo.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
Aaron, you cheated because you took your chef hat off. I thought we were going to do this together.
Tyler took it off. He's the one that put it on.
Put it back on.
Put it back on.
Oh. And then after you do that, you have to go, pork, pork, pork. You remember that? Like,
Yeah, the Muppets chef.
Yeah, the chef.
There.
All right.
There we go.
You guys, we did some review last night of a book. I don't know if you guys had any questions from the book, Jermaine, that you wanted to bring up, Marvel Bliss, because I pretty much dominated. It was like I was 1 on 2. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, taking y'all on like, so
Right.
prove my skills. All right. The hostess with the mostest.
I can't take Aaron serious in that hat. I gotta take a.
Why not?
Oh my God. No, because now
I'm a
you
real
look
chef.
more like a Pillsbury Dough baby, or
This is a real hat.
Right.
oh, and
What are you talking
we
about?
need some chocolate chip cookies when you wear that hat.
Nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Dab.
I was going
Any more? Y'all so busy smoking. What you
Oh, you talking the book? Oh,
tweets?
Jermaine's it's been so long he forgot. Jermaine's like, what book?
Forgot what book.
Look, I gotta be like careful about this because don't want to get an enemy any advantage. But it's so much good news in this book. It's gonna everything gonna be explained. I mean, every fucking thing.
So what happened? Everybody got their free
everything.
download of Elena's book last night, and there was a lot of great stuff in there. You know.
There you go, Brad.
There you go.
And then we purchased it and we were researching the hell out of it. But I don't know if I want to spoil it for people. I don't know if the Guardians got something where they need encodings with this information. But this information, so revelation is going to solve a lot of problems. Inky, Patal, Guardian, Federation, the Archons, the Black Cubes, every fucking thing is going to be solved. Okay? And it's just unbelievable. It's like, it explains every fucking thing. Why we here? Why the fuck we go through all this bullshit? Why we got to go through all this trauma and all this, you know, of course, that's the hero's journey. And they're probably the Guardians responsible for that since they the Cedars. So it's like,
the Cedars. Now I get it. Okay.
it's found. Look, the founder races, the 3 founder flame, because this is Asher Undine stuff. The Asher Undine backs up this information. That's another thing.
Yeah.
I mean, this is amazing what's in here.
It's not a book. It's a documentary.
It is going to be wonderful information.
Yeah.
So, you know, sometimes I try to.
What's he laughing at?
You know, eat the meat and spit out the bones. So a lot of people will go like, oh, well, I don't like this person, so I'm not reading this book. Or I don't know. I like to read to find words and information and see what resonates regardless.
Right.
Like, here's a weird thing about me. I have a book for witches. I got a Quran and I got a Bible. Like, and I even got a book, you know, a handbook from the KKK. Mm-hmm. I read books because I want to know what's in them. So I do encourage people, like, don't get hung up on like, oh my God, I don't like this person. Because, you know, sometimes you have to go outside of your normal realm to get things that you need. You'll be missing keys sometimes. Right, and you want to miss out on vital keys. But
everyone has a piece. Everyone has a piece of the puzzle.
Right.
And there's no way you're going to find one person where you just agree with absolutely everything they say. Like at some point, somebody's going to say something, even if they're your favorite influencer, like you just don't really agree with, but you're still going to, like, you're not going to stop listening to them because they said that. You don't have to like cut them off. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. We always say that.
Right. I you know, I also hear this, like people say, this person is compromised or possessed or whatever. Like, what when you say compromised, what does that mean to you guys? Like,
when I say that, I think if you're talking about an SSP guy who gets his information from outside himself, whereas a lot of people, a lot of people, there's a few of them that do that. And that they everything that they believe in, everything they shared, is not even their own thoughts. It's someone else giving them that information.
But the problem is they're like, this is the unquestioned truth because it's coming from my sources.
Boom!
And it's like, no, man.
Not only SSPs, when it comes to entities, you can have a conversation with somebody and they'll say, well, so-and-so said, and so-and-so said, because they want to like use authority against you. Right.
Yeah.
So it comes on different levels because this person, because well, I got it directly from God, and you're like, okay, calm down, bro. Calm down.
And here's the thing about being compromised. Exactly. So these people are been okay if they were in the programs or whatever. They've obviously they were MK Ultra. They were they were manipulated into that position. They're easily programmable because a lot of people have an ego, and the people with egos are easily programmable. And we're starting to see that come out with some people, which means that these handlers that give them their information, they preach discernment, but they're not discerning the information that they're getting because they trust these people. And just because they trust them doesn't mean that they're not secretly giving them misinformation or bad information.
Yeah.
So in some ways, if we say compromise, I feel like you can tell when somebody starts just their information shifts and it's all negative or whatever, you know that somebody's feeding them a dark agenda.
They're being used.
Yeah, they're being
played and they don't even realize it. Yeah. Because they're not questioning anything. They're programmed to not question their authoritative sources. and then that plays on the ego, like you said, because if something was true, I would know about it, or that's not right because my sources say this and I know the truth, so, and then it feeds your ego. You think you're right, you think you basically have it figured out. You're not open to other possibilities. You don't go searching for other information outside of your little box, and that keeps you stuck in your box. And then you're out there preaching that information that's being handed to you, and you don't know the real motives of why they're giving you certain information. They could be, and that's really dangerous, because then you could be used as a pawn for somebody else for an agenda that you don't even realize you're being used to push an agenda. And that happens a lot in the community, I feel like.
Right. But that doesn't mean and that's the thing. A lot of these people have great information that checks out and it corroborates and it verifies, but it's the best psyops are 90% truth, 10% lie. And they enamor you with so much truth that when they slip in that lie, you just take it as another truth because they've already gained your trust. So
the other word for that would be controlled opposition.
Right.
Yes. Controlled opposition.
Because the whole time they look like, they're imitating your language, your habits, and your ideas. And that's it. They slip, a cyanide.
We've been deceived so many times. Is unbelievable.
Right.
The light work community was totally fucking deceived. I mean, completely.
You put in your car, that radiator fluid or that fluid they put in there, and it's like, oh, it's sweet. So you don't taste that when you're drinking your Kool-Aid,
Right.
Exactly. A good analogy. Right. Exactly.
Don't taste that shit.
And then also the people that the people that we might suspect are compromised, you can always tell because they're going out of their way to shut down all these other opposing beliefs. That's that's not a leader. That's somebody who's trying to control the narrative. And then why are they threatened by whenever someone's out there telling you that this person and this person, don't listen to them. They're
going on a campaign like a politician.
Right.
Exactly.
Campaigning. Yeah. Dang, I took the words out your mouth. Come back. Come on, Revan.
he left. He's like, I'm out.
Check it out. Erika's got this. Slam dunk.
But it doesn't mean that those people don't have some good information. That's why if you want to listen to them, listen to them. If you don't. Take
what resonates, leave the rest. Yeah. And use your discernment.
And then here's the thing, there's no reason to sit here and point fingers and shit on everyone else because you don't agree with them. If you don't agree with them, don't watch them and let everyone else decide for themselves. You don't have to say, this person's
teach
evil.
People how to use discernment so you don't have, because otherwise then they're going to start relying on you for, tell me who's legit and who's not. Tell me who, that's your own job.
Responsibility.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a saying that you're not responsible for anyone else's soul.
Exactly.
And I don't want to be responsible because if I give you a wrong answer now, I take on your karma.
Well,
exactly.
Right. And that's anyway, that's our answer to that.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
Well, like I said, you say you don't be responsible for anybody's soul, but like I say, the whole fucking universe has been at risk. So like me, I chose to be responsible for all the souls in the universe myself.
There's a different way to look at it. There's two different things between being a leader who makes sure that you speak the truth because you're responsible for what comes out of your mouth versus spoon feeding it into the other person's mouth and forcing it down their throat.
Yeah.
And then getting mad at them if they question something you say.
But that doesn't mean don't call out bullshit when you see it.
Right. It just means that I can't tie. If Tyler says he's going out tonight and he's going to that strip club to meet this lady with the 3 boobs, and I say, this is dangerous. I don't think you should go. And he's like, get out of my way. I can't tie Tyler down and make him not do it. I got to let Tyler go. Right.
Exactly.
I've done my due diligence. I warned him. I done gave him some condoms. We good. I'm just messing with you, man. But, but I'm just saying, I'm not, I think people can understand it better when you have kids. Like, I can tell my son all the good things I want, but I can't stop him from going down the street and knocking somebody over the head.
Sometimes you got to learn the hard way.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I can only give him I got to give him all my lessons, and then I have to back off and let him do what? Be sovereign.
Right.
Exactly.
And live his life. Write his story.
word.
Right.
Exactly.
So,
but if there's like, let's say there's a whole bunch of people in the community there's a lot of controlled opposition. What I would do is say, hey guys, there's a lot of BS being thrown around by different people, but without having to name names, just be like, there's a lot of talk about this or that, like like whatever they're throwing out there, and like watch out for these red flags. So you're letting them know the red flags to watch out for without saying, hey, don't listen to this person naming their name, they're controlled. Oh, don't listen to this person. Oh, do listen to this person. Because then you're making yourself an arbiter of like authority of who to follow, who not to follow. And that's kind of, even if you 100% believe that, what if somebody's like, oh, now I'm going to listen to you for, who to follow, who not to follow. And then they're not ever becoming their own, sovereign person, that they can do that themselves. You don't need anyone to like.
Right, you just became a new church.
Yeah, exactly. You became the mainstream media, like telling you what's true and what's not true, rather than teaching you how to think and how to discern.
Right.
So to me, that's a big thing.
And
So looking back on this community, right, and your years of putting in work and talking and dealing with people, do you regret maybe some of your, like, have you feel like you're like, oh man, I really miss this relationship or friendship, like maybe that, something has happened and you're like estranged now, like people in the community, and then there's some you're going to leave behind because you're like, we just no longer resonate.
Right.
So, any of that.
It's down to the individual. I mean, yeah, there's some people that I miss hanging out with, but we no longer resonate. And I realized that chapter of my life was exactly that. It was just a chapter. It was a stepping stone. I'm not supposed to be stuck there. I'm growing. I'm constantly growing, and where I'm going, I'm going to attract people who are on my level, and it's constantly going to change. We're supposed to be changing. So when we meet these people along the way, like that phrase, a reason, a season, or a lifetime, some people are only there to teach you a lesson, or just for a short period of time for you guys both to help each other grow. Then you're not supposed to be friends forever. Doesn't mean that you hate that person, but you're just going your own paths. And that happens a lot. Yeah.
Exactly. It was meant for a season, and then you both got out of it what you needed. And then if you're growing separate paths, then it's like, it is what it is. It's not good or bad. Yeah.
I think for me, like the disillusion is it a disillusion? I don't think it was a disillusion for me, but I think for a lot of people, there's a disillusion when it's like, oh man, I thought this was going to be like heaven's playground to find all these people and watch all these channels. And then they're like, wait a minute, some of these people aren't what they're cracked up to be.
Well, I figured that one out. So, cause we all did it. Like when I went to my first conference, and you go through your awakening, what happens? You leave your old life. You're like, oh my God, all these people are amazing. I didn't know this world existed. So you're but
exactly.
Guess what? Everyone else did the exact same thing you did. They all just kind of tossed away their old lifestyle without really doing any healing. So they all just squeeze into this fake.
They bring their shit with them to this community.
They put on a mask, and they're all this fake new version of themselves who we all ultimately want to be, but they didn't address any of the
they put on clean clothes, but they didn't take a fucking shower.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So then we all meet this fake versions of each other at these conferences and in the community. And then as we really get to know each other and spend time with each other, you start to realize, oh, these people aren't really as healed as they presented themselves to be. And everyone's true colors start showing. And then that's when the dark night of the soul comes in. That's why everything's such a mess, because everyone jumped into this thinking it was an escape from their old reality. When you can't escape that reality, you have to sit with all that bullshit and take accountability for everything that you've done and heal in all the areas. And if you don't do that, you're never going to get that heaven that you're looking for. And I think it's become this, like, we all knew what we wanted, but we were let down because we had these expectations.
Yeah.
But they're giving your power away. That's a form of giving your power away.
Right.
Yeah.
I did that. I did that. I mean, I did.
We all did that.
Energy healings on people, and you're putting your hands on people, and you're messing with their mental and spiritual and physical, but you're not healed. Does that, you feel like that has an effect? I mean, like, say we don't get on a friendship level, but just as you as a healer, not you, but that person as a healer is unhealed and traumatized, but yet putting their hands on people and healing them or advising.
Well, I feel like there's a fine line there, because none of us are going to be ever fully healed. But the person could be they could be solid enough and healed enough and sovereign enough to be in a place where they can use that energy to heal others. But if you are carrying all this baggage that you are just ignoring, and you know you're ignoring it, what happens with certain healers is they don't even know they're actually siphoning their patient's energy. So they'll walk away from the session feeling great, and they think, oh, wow, I'm a healer, this is amazing. But they don't realize that they're just siphoning that energy from their patient. And sometimes the person on the other end will feel like shit after the session. And that's exactly why. So if you're not, there's a fine line there on how to approach that.
I'm glad you said that, because a lot of people, I think, I'm noticing people like, they're feeling attacked, but you just got all these new friends and you're talking to all these people and you're feeling attacked. Who do you think attacked you?
You know,
your new buddy.
Exactly.
I really like Dab's role here. He just seems like a hype man over there. Just like, yeah.
Dab's the hype man.
Hype man. That's what I do here.
I love it.
He's just Sagittarius like me, you know. But he's a little different in his chart, like me.
He's like the guy in the rap video that's just the hype man.
Yes, he's got a smile the whole time.
We gotta ask a Dab question. Okay, so you're you both have to answer this. If you were a Marvel character, which character would you be?
A Marvel.
We ask everybody.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's a tough one, man.
Marvel, I would be. Well, wait, I'm gonna
go with Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Okay.
Is X-Men's Marvel, or is that
you got a lot of tools.
Marvel.
Doctor Strange is Marvel.
I'm just gonna go be Wolverine.
Nice.
I loved Wolverine growing up, man. That's my guy. Yeah.
Nice. They're very, very.
Aaron, how did you get to be Doctor Strange? What you got going on special? Let us know. You got some.
Aaron,
I mean,
little closet, little magic cloak.
I just want to be able to open up portals and go to. That'd be so awesome.
That's way better. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's way better than
Come on.
Wolverine. I'll be Professor X.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Wow. I still just want to be Mystique. I got a thing, man. You could just walk around basically naked, and just be blue and naked. Nobody. What are you gonna say to me? I'm blue.
I just be the Flash, because if everybody fuck up, I can reverse time and fix shit.
Oh, that's a good one. Flash. There you go.
So responsible. See, he can't even in the cartoons. He can't even relax. See.
Exactly.
Yeah, Jermaine,
you think we're gonna relax after we get disclosure?
Jermaine,
you have all your space sex, but you're,
Jermaine will relax.
Jermaine is adjective man.
Oh my God.
That's whenever we were at ECETI, you're like, Tyler, Rob, there's an orb over here. And we're like, Rob's like, he said, use an adjective to describe it. He said, there's a fucking orb over here.
Oh my God.
Yes.
And look, I was in the dark. I was expecting people to come behind me when I'm jumping the pit. Ain't we on the adventure right now? Don't we want to go on ventures for real? I'm jumping the pit. Or on the ground, they floating on the ground. I'm chasing them over in multiple fields and shit. I ain't gonna fuck what happened. I didn't care.
You gotta get a GoPro, man.
Yeah, I gotta get the
GoPro. Get the GoPro. So what, when it comes to this community, like, can everybody get along? Is that even possible?
Oh yeah. If everyone does their the real work, eventually
it's possible.
It's possible.
Probably not.
Okay, here, theoretically, hypothetically, yeah. But realistically,
it's
probably
not going to happen. But that just means you're going to like vibrate higher, and then stick with the people that are on your wavelength, and don't drop yourself down into that drama. That's you're just getting caught up in the bullshit,
It's not like
slinging mud at each other.
It's not like you have to get along with everybody anyway, but you also don't have to be upset with them and be, always butting heads with them. Yeah.
Like
that's a funny thing. Cause Tina, Disco Tina, she's the moderator for everybody in the universe right now. So it's like, it's so crazy because I'm like, why would I go to Dr. Salah's chat to drop poop bombs? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, if you don't believe in this person or you don't like this person, why do you go on their channel?
Why are you on their channel?
To heckle and leave. But this is supposed to be some high vibration people. That's what I'm so confused. Like,
well, that just shows you where they're at. It shows you where they're at. And it's easy to sit on your couch and point out what's wrong with everyone else instead of facing yourself and point out what's wrong with you.
Yeah,
so true.
Going out there trying to, you're not trying to save any kids, are you? You're out there trying to shut down CNN or anything? Like, no, you're on the couch trying to fight the people who are trying to help everyone else. That's what blows my freaking mind.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
It's like put your energy towards supporting the good things or what you want rather than tearing down what you don't. It's like that'll collapse on the old energy stuff will collapse on its own if we just like shift our energy to what we want. That's it doesn't. You're actually feeding it. You're feeding the things that you're putting your energy into.
Well, you might as well go on out there and just go work for the dark side. Just go
right.
Well, in a way, you are, because those are tactics of the dark side. But my favorite is the people. There's a lot of people that have a problem with what we do, and they come in the chat and they say some horrible things. But then I want to ask them, okay, what are you doing that's any better than what we're doing? Do you what?
Right.
What are you doing to better? Like, at least we're out here.
He got 3 followers, and he's like, I'm taking over your group. I'm like, dude.
Well,
I'm taking over my signal, but you're gonna try to, take over.
Ambitious motherfucker.
Exactly.
Well, let me tell you, it's energetically, it takes a lot to put yourself out there in front of thousands of people every week, every day, whatever, hundreds of people, whatever it is. There's an energetic component to that affects your physical body, whether you realize it or not. And all of those eyes on you, watching you, judging you, you pick up on that. So it's doing this work isn't necessarily like all fun and games like everyone thinks it is. Like, we're putting our necks out there. We're saying things that no one agrees with
you're potentially putting a target on your back too, by doing this.
So of course people are going to have a problem with it. I forget where I was going with that rant, but the people that are attacking us, like, okay, well, what are you doing? Like, if all you're doing is going around attacking people you don't like or don't agree with, I think you're missing your time and energy there. Like
it's
put your energy towards.
We burn stage before we start. I mean, we do full on like meditations before we start. Clearings and stuff, because number one, we don't want to bring funkiness out into the atmosphere, but we don't want to receive it either. So
right.
I remember when I first started doing videos too, I could tell when there was someone watching that did not like me, that really had extreme negative feelings towards me. I start to feel really sick and queasy.
Right.
It was just, you feel it. You're like, wait, somebody's watching me. Like,
And then there's people out there that know what they're doing, that know how to cast spells and black magic and all that shit, that don't like you, that if you're not protecting yourself and doing clearings before every time you step in front of that camera, you're susceptible to that, and it can affect you. And most of the time, if it's good magic, good black magic, you won't even know that you've been affected. That's the whole trickster energy. So you have to always be clearing yourself and protecting yourself. That's why you saw us burning the Palo Santo every episode. We're doing clearings and putting up protection.
Don't be in because a lot of people do that, but then they're always afraid something's going to happen to them, and then they end up you end up attracting that.
Right.
You know, when you're in the fear. So don't be in fear. That's
that was the thing. I didn't want to live where I'm sitting here because my sister was like, do you use your real name? Like, you know, it's like, what am I gonna do? I can't just. I'm not gonna use a fake name, and I'm not gonna, you know.
No, you got to.
I'm not gonna give you my address either, so you can back up. You know.
Oh no, you don't want to be no
back to
Iron
freak up
Man
on
3.
that one, but.
Well, I mean,
Iron Man 3.
yeah.
There's a lot of people that don't use their real names, and I don't get that because, like, what a terrible revolution if we have a bunch of warriors that are afraid to even put their
real name out there.
Like what kind of like you're literally hiding behind a computer and an avatar and a fake name.
Except for Jermaine.
I ain't give a fuck. They deleted my Facebook accounts 3 times. I don't give a fuck. Fuck you. Yes, I was at January 6th. Fuck you. I don't care. Not scared of you. You know, especially when I found out that I'm a Jedi and all this stuff. So, you know, fuck it. You know, especially Alex Collier tell me. So yeah, you put yourself out there to be real. So you don't be I'm gonna beat your ass. I see you in person. Yes, I'm gonna beat your ass. There ain't gonna be no fucking I'm typing keyboard.
Yeah.
Like, no, you fuck with Laura, you fuck with Elena, I'm gonna beat your ass at the conference. You know, for real.
Yeah.
Because I'm real. You know.
Exactly.
So it's like, come on, I can't be fake. I couldn't hide behind no mask or no thing. No, I didn't hide behind no profile. Like with the Revan Rise, the only reason I put that thing there is to trick the archons. Because you see, I never put my face up there. You
right.
See? Never.
Good strategy. Good strategy.
Because I know the archon know me. I know.
But they might have blocked the third eye domain because of the fact that, you know, they know you're going to come after them.
Oh, yeah. That's another thing. People always say, Jermaine, you get some sessions. I say, look, you don't know. I mean, if I found out somebody I cared about and my kids was murdered, I might go after these motherfuckers after we get disclosure and hunt their ass down. So maybe it was a good reason to cut that off, you know, because if I find out, I get some memories and shit, and I might go after them because, you know, I care about the people that I love. I'm very protective, and I'm going to whip ass to protect them, and I'm serious about that. So it's not a good idea to bring up old trauma from a 20 million year old war and have me out there going to chase these motherfuckers in other universes. Ain't no need for that. So I can see some memories bringing back to bring my skills and stuff, but no. Go ahead. Had to wait for Tyler to go to the bathroom.
Well, no, I know why you. I know why you. Like, I'm not talking about you like hiding behind a screen name. You know what people I'm talking about, like certain people. It's just the ones that like to come in your comment section and say all the hateful stuff. We have no idea who they are because they're
no picture, fake name.
They're literally hiding behind. Like they would, and these people would never ever say this stuff to your face in a real life situation. If they were
out there publicly,
right? Yeah, in a real life situation, you're not going to say half the stuff to their face that you would online,
right?
Jermaine,
it's a coward's
right?
Coward, fake and phony. Yup.
Yeah,
you got to be real about it. Like this shit is real now. The revelations we find in this book, not just this book, Alex Collier, everything is checking out. I mean, we still decoding this. You know, we still trying to like. I'm just gonna wait until we decode this and check every fucking thing. But if so far everything is checking out with that Sean Dean stuff, everything is resonating. This seems like full disclosure is about to be imminent. And when I'm having contact myself, I'm convinced that school is about to be imminent. I don't think we're gonna be waiting no 5 years. I think this shit about to become quick. Because one thing going on right now, we are empowered. We are empowered, and I mean the co-creative mass consciousness empowered. And also we transition to fourth density. So you sit there and focus on your imagination, your desires, which is fifth density. You focus on what you want, because Alex Carter been saying this, and then you're gonna draw that timeline towards you, and that means they're gonna speed the timeline up. So our empowerment with doing the shadow work, empowering ourselves, is empowering the overall timeline of humanity. We at that point now, and Scourge is imminent, because ain't no way in here I should be having fucking contact in my backyard nightly.
We're not squeezing the toothpaste isn't going back in the tube at this point.
Oh, no. It's fucking all. We're gonna fight with swords and shit. You don't understand. Hell no.
Exactly.
No.
That's funny.
Fuck that.
Well,
No,
I mean, it's imminent. We all here. I just detach from the outcome of any timelines. Like I don't I'm done doing that because that's one way to get your hopes up. I know it's happening.
It's happening.
I know it's happening. I see it happening. I don't have any expectations for what it's supposed to look like because it's inevitable and we're here for it. And, like you said, it's time.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
The greatest movie ever that we're all experiencing. So this is going to be something to see. It's time to be alive. That's for sure.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. I mean,
yeah, by far.
Since we had CERN, the Georgia Guidestones, and the Queen, like there's so many actually public little victories that we're getting now that we haven't gotten the past few years.
Exactly.
They're happening on the world stage that are finally like, I guess, public victories, you could say.
Exactly. It's obvious what's going on there. We winning. I mean, I know it's hard because I'm not the person that do that complacency. Oh, everything is set. No, I'm always careful because we underestimate this dark side. And I'm finding out in this book, there's been universal secrets. They're not telling these starseeds. They're not telling my friend Siobhan, who's in contact with the Syrian High Council, with the Guardians, with the Andromedan Council. And she met Alex Carter at the SSP conference. And I wanted that to happen because they both Andromedans. So we have to be careful. We have to check each other. We have to be honest with each other. Infiltrators did fucking come in. They did divide us. They was on the dark side. And we understand that now. And like I said, go back to the fact that I have evidence that I can, me and Tina have evidence that can end the fucking cover up in emergency. Like if I have a contingency plan, boom, there we go. It's over. I got stream recording evidence of my phone zooming in. They ain't got this on no fucking third phase moon. Nobody thinks of this because the people who get UFOs, they in fear. They don't they got no mindset to be scientific about it. I'm getting all this fucking scientific evidence. Ain't no fucking way. When I release this fucking evidence to a bigger public, the cover up is over, guaranteed. I wish I could have done this at ECETI because all I gotta do is look at that fucking mountain.
Right.
Well, I'm gonna say this, y'all. If you didn't hit the like button, I'm gonna need y'all to do that real quick, okay? Hit the like button. Hit the like. I had one question before we transition because it is the fall equinox, and Terri is in the room with us. Before we transition to that, I would like to ask Tyler and Aaron, what do you think we need to bring us all closer together? Even though we know things aren't going to be perfect, everybody's not going to be on the same page and everybody's not going to be, super friends and all, but how can we, what do we need to do more of? What do we, Jermaine always says like, oh, you guys need to learn to talk to each other and reach out. And, he sounds like one of the super friends, he's a super friend.
I'd say people just start taking accountability for their own shit instead of pointing fingers.
Right.
And people start doing that and start healing that within themselves. We can all start to get along and unite instead of hate each other, because that doesn't get us anywhere.
Right. Go inward, deal with your own shit. Don't focus on so much on the negative of like attacking people or what things you don't want, and you're spreading, it's good to spread information, but like if you're too caught up in fear and that's all you're doing, then you're really just feeding into it. So put your energy into what you want to see and just live your truth unapologetically, unafraid. I would say if you feel called to go, not everyone's called to go public, but if you are, do it. It'll be the best decision you've made to like, live your truth and just do what you feel called to do. Figure out what your calling is, figure out what your passion is, and do that. Just do it. Don't, stop letting people tell you what to do, being afraid of what people are going to think.
Right.
That's the biggest trap. That's the biggest trap you can get caught in.
Right. And then also don't just take all this information at face value. Sit with it and ask yourself, what do you think? How does it make you feel? I don't care what so-and-so says or this person or that person. Also, these people that are, quote, compromised are here to infiltrate or control opposition. Don't give them any energy. That's why they're there. So you literally fight them, because it sucks your life force out of you whenever you're constantly mad at that person or trying to prove that person wrong or trying to point out that they're here to infiltrate or deceive. Whenever you do that, they're winning. That's why they're even there in the first place. So now, instead of fighting for disclosure, you're fighting against this person. And it's like the only way to win is to starve the narcissist. Don't give them any energy. Don't even acknowledge them. Like, I know you guys want to like make a show and criticize these people, but now you're not fighting for disclosure anymore. Like, it's not, it takes you off your path. It's a distraction.
It's a form of controlling the narrative.
It's controlling the narrative.
So you're being a hypocrite if you believe in that uncontrolled narrative. And then you're trying to control the narrative. Even if you think you're right, you're still trying to control the narrative. So it's, again, just put out the information you want to put out. But I would say put your energy into that. Preach discernment. Talk about the red flags to watch out for, of what's, whatever's currently being put out there. And then people can see it for themselves, and then they're going to hopefully do the same. And, that's how, and then we're the like-minded people that we're on the same frequency are going to come together naturally without having to force any kind of like. And
that's the reason why things are being divided, because we're allowing it. We're co-creating that with them by fighting back against these infiltrators. That's like literally what they want. Like, that is, you are falling right into the trap. So just let it go. Don't give it any energy, and keep fighting for disclosure, because that's why we're all not getting along, because we've taken the bait when the infiltrators come. Don't take the bait. Don't get into the argument.
I notice even with religion and a lot of things, people, they get all their little good feelings and self-esteem from just trying to me being right and you being wrong, and I'm right and you are wrong, and that's where their little feel goods come from.
That's
ego. Yeah,
it's stepping on the backs of others to build yourself up.
Right.
That's not a real buddy assist right there. That's not an assist.
No.
If you're stepping on someone else's back, you guys, it reminds me of a cable guy. Remember when he did that slam dunk and he stepped on that guy?
Yeah.
The backboard and shit.
Man, I haven't seen that in a long time.
Oh yeah, it's been a while.
So let's do this meditation.
Heck yeah, that's what. Hey, why are you taking the words out of my mouth? You got me back, didn't you? See? Terri, come on to the mic. Step up to the mic.
Hey, I just wanted to say, Tyler and Aaron, I just totally resonate with what you're saying. So good luck with reaching those people who are ready to open up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, your wisdom is appreciated.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What are your signs? What are your signs? If you don't mind.
Scorpio.
Aquarius.
I thought I was a Scorpio for 27 years. So it's about 45 years. I was like, oh, I'm glad I didn't get a tattoo. I always say that. I found out I was a Libra this whole time.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Our Canadian friends are here.
Hey.
Woo! So I'm gonna say we're gonna do this fall equinox meditation, and we're gonna be led by Terri Smith and Jonathan Bailey. And Jonathan hasn't had a chance to hang out with us yet, but Terri has. And we love you still, though. We love you. And we can't wait to talk with you next week. All right. Okay. And I want Terri to set this up. If you're at home, if you got your sage or you got a white candle, black candle, feel free to get it. Make sure you get yourself a glass of water. So I'm going to get me a glass of water. And I'm going to go ahead and just be quiet and let Terri and Jonathan explain this special thing that they're going to do for us.
Crystal, you have one?
Okay.
Water.
Right in front of you.
Go get our little waters.
Got a white candle.
I want to say too, because when you all do ceremonies and things like this, when you speak those words over the water, you have now blessed this water. And you can take portions of that water and bless other water with it, just in case you don't know it. Because remember, we can write, the water has memory, so we can put that script into the water. So that's what's so beautiful about this. You could actually have had a water bottle, which you just get your water.
Like that.
And then now you're going to be drinking blessed water, and it's going to be talking to you on a cellular level, baby, you know?
Yeah.
You can carry it with you.
Yeah.
Carrying it with
Well,
you.
you could even like have the water bottle that you spray, a spray water bottle, and you could put a crystal or quartz or a shungite within the bottle and then bliss it, and then spray that as your protection before you start your session. You clear your space, cleanse your space.
Right.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people don't realize that using our breath is also a very effective ways, because as we breathe in, we set the intention, and with our out breath, we're using that life force, the frill of the universe, to set the intention. And so it just it creates an effect of just passing it all the way through the energy around us. So the breathing is also important.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, a lot of times we don't take time to realize the sacredness that's around us and just everything that we do, and just with the air, the water, the fire, all of those things, they have an energy that we, if we can connect with it, it can certainly flourish within us.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Yep.
So what we want to do, and we're going to wait for Erika, but one of the things that Jonathan and I do is we tap into, like you were saying earlier, Tyler, you and Aaron, you're on the same wavelength. Well, Jonathan and I are on the same wavelength too, and we'll have dreams, or we'll have meditations, and like our energies will we'll compare notes, and it's just like, wow, that's exactly what I got. And so then you get into that flow, and the more you do it, then the more in resonance you are. And so we like to go into the quantum field, and we like to surf in the waves and just feel, and where are we going to go? Where's the flow going to take us? And we will often just meet in that quantum realm and bring back information. I don't know, Jonathan, you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I was the one experience. Well, one of the experiences that we had was when we were doing a meditation, and we were going into the quantum realm, to say the focus levels, and I had a dream. I was doing this in my night journey the night before, and I didn't make this meditation, and I didn't talk to Terri at all the next day. And I didn't, and so she went to the meditation that night, and she was called to do a certain alignment within this space of the meditation, of the grid of this focus level. And so we both were doing the same thing, balancing off of one another, unknowingly. But we had a confirmation within that meditation that Terri was at. There was one of the girls was in there. She's like, it was completely different. It wasn't like before. There was all this flickering within the space, and it was shifting pretty drastically, and it was completely different. It was quite blissful. And so just that is like, and she had no clue what we were what we were doing, or we were kind of phased out of that space. So, they could perceive that we were all in that meditation, or Terri was in that meditation, but we didn't know that, there's no time, no space when we cross those barriers.
Right.
So it was very confirming, and that was kind of one of the beginning of the journeys.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
take us there.
And this is also why I really focus on intentions with night journeys. When going to sleep, before you go to sleep, you take that 5 minutes and you get into a peaceful space, and then you create that protection, and then you just allows your soul to navigate you for wherever you need to go for your highest evolution, or whatever you need to be.
Amen.
And when you have that, then you're just brought into where you need to exactly be, and you'll be amazed of those dreams turn into another meditation. Yeah.
Yep.
So with the meditation today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lead us verbally. I connect with the energy, and Jonathan's just going to flow the energy through the movements, through Qigong, through breath, and that sort of thing. So we sort of ride that wave together, and we just kind of really kind of cement it and make it a real intention, so that anybody tapping in will feel that energetic flow, but they'll also feel the verbal and guided flow.
Well, it's like watching TV or watching anything on a video, right?
So we
your
supposed
body starts to feel it. So
Right.
it just takes us all into all the dimensions.
All right, let's
get busy.
Okay, so we're going to start by push the like button. We're going to formulate some intentions for this meditation, because when you have intentions, that is how you start to manifest, is bringing that intention. And we're going to open up into the quantum field. We're going to connect with the source. We're going to connect with the earth. And we want to bring those intentions so that they can manifest into our reality. So anyway, if you want to just, as I'm reading these words, because I've sort of put it down on paper, just think about it as I'm reading the words, and you can repeat them in your mind, or however you want to, if you want to reverbalize them for yourself. So with this intention, this is the equinox, and it's a time of equal day and equal night, where the sun illuminates all the earth equally. Because the sun illuminates the earth in balance, we have the intent to assist her to transcend into higher frequencies in a balanced way, so that the transition into the higher densities is an uncomplicated transition. And now we're also going to invite the guardians, the seeders, the intergalactic and galactic federations, and any benevolent beings to join us in this meditation of creating the new season for Earth, Terra, Gaia, however you want to refer to her. We're going to intend that our brothers and sisters who are still asleep may awaken easily and quickly. We ask that the timeline for disclosure be speeded up, and those beings who have held us hostage are dealt with swiftly. We intend for the lower vibrational frequencies to depart from our earth realm and return to the source energy. We ask that the benevolent energies assist with this. We set the intention that all the people involved who are organizing, presenting, and participating in the Galactic Informers Conference in Orlando from October 21st to the 23rd, 2022 will have guidance and protection of benevolent energies and are able to travel free and with ease of any restrictions or complications to and from the conference. Now, for ourselves individually, intend that you move through this time of transition with ease, that you raise your vibrational frequencies, and that you release any energies that are no longer of service to you, and that you bring all good, positive, and higher energies into your life. And if you have any other intentions, just take a moment to set them right now. And now, if you're ready, you can take the crystal that you have into your hand or your glass of water and just start to move it with the intention of clearing any energies that it maybe have stuck to it. And you're going to ask it to join you in this journey of setting and creating a new season on the earth. And if you want, you can just take a deep breath in and just blow your intention into the crystal. Now I'm going to invite you to move into a relaxed state. Relaxation is actually an action. So we're going to get our bodies relaxed. So just start at your toes and just telling your toes and your feet just to relax and let go. Allowing that relaxation to move up your legs, your knees, up your thighs to your hips. And at your tailbone, just relax your vertebrae all the way up your spine, telling all the muscles in your back to relax. Relaxing your abdomen and your chest. Relax your shoulders. Relax your neck. And relax your scalp. You may feel a tingling in your scalp. And allow that to move down over your face, around your eyes and your cheeks. Drop your jaw. And your body is relaxed. Now bring your awareness to your in-breath. And just take a deep breath in. You might want to breathe in to the count of 3. And hold the breath. And release it. Again, breathing in. Hold and release. And at this time, just take your fingers and just tap the center of your chest at your heart to bring your awareness to that heart center. And as we bring our awareness to the heart center, this is what grounds us in this reality, so that we may expand into the other levels of consciousness and connect us to those other aspects of ourselves. And you may feel, sense, or imagine a golden energy in the center of your heart. Allow that energy to expand, filling your heart. And as your heart fills with this golden energy, it expands into your physical body. And as your physical body fills with this golden energy, it flows into the bubble around you, which is your aura. And you're surrounded now by a bubble of golden light. And this light permeates every cell in your body. And you now sense a silver cord that runs through the center, through your core. It runs through the top of your head and also through your root. Just bring your awareness up from your heart, through your throat, your third eye, and your crown, and out through the top of your head to about 3 feet over your head. And when you get to this point, you see your Merkaba star. Bring it in through this channel, bringing it down through the crown, through the third eye, through the throat, through to the heart. Bringing it down through your solar plexus, the sacral, and the root chakras, down this channel to the below your feet, about a foot, which is called the Earth Star Chakra. And just feel that connection to the earth. And now we're going to travel down this tube as we go down through the layers of the earth. And we're going to connect to the core of the earth, the crystal within the center of the earth. As we move down this silver cord, and we reach the core of the earth, we see the beautiful crystals in the earth and sensing the energies.
Yeah.
And connecting our crystal that we have in our hand with this crystal in the center of the earth. And now the energy within the center of the earth starts to spin. The earth's Merkaba is spinning. And we are connecting with this energy of the earth. And from the center of the earth, we move back up through our silver cord,
Welcome.
moving up through the layers of the earth and up through our physical body. up through our chakras, and moving up the cord through our crown. We're going to move into the cosmos, past the sun, past our solar system, into the galaxy, and beyond our galaxy, we move into that void, into that space of all that is. And before us, we see a golden light. The light of the source. And we moved to this source of golden light. And we're surrounded by the golden light. Connecting with our source. The source of all creation. Breathe in this energy. Feel the connection with all that is. We are all entangled. We are all one energy. And we're going to start to return back to the earth, but invite this golden energy of source to return with us, as well as all other beings, as we create this golden bubble, connecting with each other. We're going to move back down towards our galaxy, our solar system, back to the earth, and to a place where we are all connected above the earth. We see the earth below us, this beautiful blue jewel. And from this vantage point, we see the earth without any borders. It's a unity of consciousness, and we are part of that unity of consciousness. And from this point, our energies are joined, and we create a golden bubble around the earth, inviting in any benevolent beings that wish to join us. And we're going to share our intentions in this unified field that we're setting around the earth. And as we do this, the energies of the earth, we're asking that the frequencies that are no longer of the higher frequency of the earth be released and absorbed back into the source energy. All of these lower frequencies. And with your crystal, send your intention through the crystal into this field. And just know that these lower frequencies will be released and dissolved. And we send the intention that our brothers and sisters begin to awaken from their slumber, from their sleep, awakening to the new possibilities, dropping old programs, inviting the old programs, the old matrix to be dissolved, disassembled, and bringing in the new higher frequencies. And as we do this, we ask that our timeline for disclosure be speeded up. And as we look down on the earth, we've set the intention that the conference in Orlando in October be successful and everybody involved is protected and their journeys are uneventful. Peaceful, without any restrictions or complications. And also set your intention for yourself and your loved ones, that you move through this time of transition with ease. That you raise your vibrational frequencies. And you attract all positive energies to you. And as we send these intentions to the earth absorbs this golden light and golden energy. And you see the lower frequencies starting to be released. And feel the energies of our benevolent friends around us, supporting us during this time of transition. Sending love and peace and joy to all beings on the earth. And knowing that this golden shield is now around the earth. Protecting us from any energies that are not benevolent. And take a deep breath in. And now we're slowly going to come back through our silver cord, finding our way back to our physical being. And we're going to now just allow these energies that we've connected with to move down through the silver cord, down through our layers of our light body, through the chakras, into the heart space. And with your personal intent, just invite your Merkaba to spin at its appropriate speed in its appropriate direction, activating your energies. Now bringing your awareness back to the heart, still surrounded by your golden bubble within the Merkaba. We're going to start to bring our energies back and integrate them back into our body. So allow that golden energy to move from your bubble back towards your body. Now from your body, moving back towards the heart. And now within your heart, allow that energy just to move back inside you until there's just a tiny flicker of that golden light in the center of your heart. Integrating all of these energies into your physical body. Knowing that you've changed your vibration to this higher resonance of that unified field that we are a part of. And take a deep breath in. And you start to feel your awareness coming back into your physical body with your feet. Moving your feet, moving your hands, moving your shoulders. And breathing. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Bringing your awareness back to the room. And welcome back.
Quite a journey.
Are you all back?
Yeah.
Journey to peace.
Right.
I felt energy like push off, like boom. It's like, I feel like
We moved at quantum speed.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
This is the first time I've done this, the qigong on a meditation like this, and it was like I was in that vortex. I was just swaying all the way around. It was so potent.
Cool.
It was quite an experience.
Anybody head was like, my arm did like, like
Oh, yeah.
at 3 times my arm moved like.
What?
Did someone else say something? Like, did anyone else's arm? Okay, like my arm jumped like 3 times, and then my head was just like.
Huh.
I gotta go watch the video.
Energetic alignment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that was amazing. That was amazing.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad to be a part of that. Thank you for everything today. This has been a lot of fun.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you guys.
Yes.
So you guys got some prep to do for your show, or?
Well, not really, but by prep, if you mean eat.
Yeah, we're both starving right now.
Let's get this thing started.
Been up here a long time anyway.
Yeah, you did, but you hung out with us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
Thank
that
you.
was great.
It was so great. That was amazing.
I was in that meditation whenever I zoomed out of the earth, I saw Jermaine on top of a mountain with his sword, just practicing.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be lightsaber because I'm a Jedi. Remember, not
lightsaber,
rusted sword.
Yeah, we're about to get blood off a lightsaber.
Did anybody see Circles of Fire?
No, I didn't see Circles of Fire. No.
Okay.
Going to higher density.
That's just because you got that halo on your head. That's why.
I had me like a little fire light up at the end.
We're each going to perceive things in a different way because we're all individuals. And so the words I use are just keys that open up information for you.
Right.
Vital Sweet says that felt good.
It did. Thank you so much for leading that.
That was powerful.
And
you're welcome.
Thank you for inviting us on today.
Thank you so much.
I think
you realize you gotta eat and check out.
Yeah, we're gonna check out, but we appreciate it. We're honored to be here, and keep doing what you're doing. This is fun.
Keep it up. Yes.
Hey.
And we will see you in your chat tonight with Randy Kramer.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Yeah. An interesting one.
Right.
Yeah.
I wish we could have got it close where we lined up like back to back, but yeah, it would have been nice.
It's
you got to start a certain time. That's a mathematical equation. So you got to start a certain time to catch that. You know?
Right.
Like this big game going from chat to chat. Like,
right.
Yeah. Exactly.
Damn, I forgot to go into Abby, Lynn, and Heidi. I got so damn busy with the. I wanted to be there.
By the time you said it,
we completely missed it. She went live.
Well, yeah.
So we could be like groupies then, eh? Just going from instead of but we go from chat to chat.
We're like a game. We're like a game.
Well, good night, you guys.
I had a whole concert coming in.
Good night, guys.
Good night, guys.
Okay.
See you later.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
See you.
Good night.
So in the chat, if you want to make comments or ask questions, I even still have time because I have a class at 7. So we had a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Not that we want to keep you all day, but just in case anybody wants to ask questions, or if you just even want to discuss more what your role was during that meditation.
Me?
Yeah.
So what I was guided to offer and do this qigong, this dragon qigong, is connect to those ley lines of the galaxy or the universe that connects with the dragons. And so I have a couple dragon guides that assist me to open up this pathway, this channel. And so basically it's kind of like connecting into the vehicle of our collective meditation, of our collective group as we move through. And you know how some people say, they said, okay, you know how people get disturbed while they're in meditation and they have a hard time kind of going back into the meditation with the disturbance. If they can just then focus, or just watch or focus and take some breaths and just watch and just naturally do what they feel. Maybe they can go back into that meditative state, kind of like skipping that surfboard back to the group or back into that flow state, right? So it was it was quite an interesting experience, because it was literally like I was hitting tsunami waves as we were going. Yeah, it's quite it. It was like the Bifrost, but a golden platinum Bifrost with multiple layers within that, right, of colors. Yeah,
That's awesome.
mm-hmm.
I've seen the golden there, so it was definitely moving for me here. And then I think the sun came out even for a little bit. Then it went back away.
Yeah, it definitely felt like the sun came out.
The sun came out, it was all bright in here, and I was like, man, this is great. Then I opened my eyes after it was done. I was like, where's the sun go? So very interesting.
Yeah.
Well, and you know, when we join together at that above the earth, we're in a different level of consciousness, and we're in that unity field of consciousness, and so we become one energy. So the intention that we have is magnified, and sending that intention is manifesting as well. We're inviting that manifestation to come into our lives, onto the earth.
And we're really, you're really, with all the intentions, we're really hyper focused within that collective, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So we would
It was
definitely
so beautiful.
do that again. Yeah. Go ahead, Stephanie.
I was just saying, it's so beautiful. It was hard to kind of come back. It's just like,
Wanted to just say
I think somebody's voice finally like brought me back into my body, but it was just really nice, lovely. Thank you.
We went way out and we came back in.
Yeah.
So drink water just to ground that back.
Yes.
Ground yourself back into the earth.
I will do that.
Actually, I'm gonna grab some water right now.
supposed to have the water. I'm about to say that. We're supposed to have the water. We told you to get your water. Okay, checking on your water.
It's a lot of water to drink too.
No, I had my like 2.
I got a gallon of this stuff.
Okay, I'm a whole this one and I poured some in here. So see, I'm good to go. I got my little water.
All set.
Then you can watch this again and
again.
watch it.
Exactly.
Watch it and do it. Yeah.
Because, you know, outside of the earth, space and time are not at all what we experience down here. So we're moving into a place of no time, and so we can connect to that energy anytime. And a month from now, we can still connect to that same energy. And the more times we do it, then the stronger it comes with the intention. So, you know, like you missed it earlier, then you can do it anytime you want. You're still catching into that energy, bringing that energy back.
All right. Anybody want to wrap up?
This is a great show. Another great show.
Yes.
So this is awesome.
Nothing like it. Nothing like it out there in the YouTubeverse.
Multiverse.
Well, the YouTube, it got to be the YouTubeverse.
I like it.
All right.
YouTubeverse.
Good night, everybody out there. Good night, everybody out there. Let's see.
Share the broadcast. Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Stay high vibe.